All right, where you at? There you go. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope we always do. But you know what this is? This is Way Out Wednesday. This is Way Out Wednesday. This is the day where you right there. You become the boss. And all you have to do is give us a call at 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. You become the boss. We talk about whatever you want to talk about and talk about it in its entirety. Talk about it in its entirety. Let me do this right here because I can't go another step further. I can't go another step further. Good. Let me say good morning, Jim. Good morning, Menace 420. Good morning to you as well. And the phone number is 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to hear from you and hear your opinion. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Leonard, I got to ask you a question, man. I saw this thing that came up, man, and made me think for a second. Leonard, if something's wrong with your car, wouldn't you go get it fixed?
Yes.
If you heard a little knocking sound in your car, you're gonna go to that mechanic shop and find out what's going on with it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. If it's time for an oil change, you're gonna go to that mechanic shop wherever you go and let them fix that doggone thing. They have to get the oil change. I need a tune-up or whatever it is, right?
Yes, indeed.
Why is it we as black men don't go to the doctor and get the necessary things that we need to make sure that we're running as smooth as our car?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with utility. If it ain't stopping us from doing something, it's not urgent.
Mm.
And if we're already doing things and working hard or what have you without issues, why see a doctor?
Mm. But see,
if you have no pain, if you don't have any kind of problems with anything, why would you go to a doctor?
See, my thing is, and see, I look at this thing just a tad bit differently. My thing is, why not? Because if we get an idea that is even time, the car could be running smooth. But if it gets to that mileage point where it's time for a tune-up, we're gonna go get a tune-up. If we get to that mileage point where we feel like, after 3,000 miles, some cars 5,000 miles, they say you should have your oil changed. We'll go and get that done without hesitation. But we won't do that.
But then again, it also, if you think about it, we also used to get oil changes a lot more, used to pay a lot more as well. Now they don't tell you when to get oil changed. The car tells you when to get oil changed.
What? See, I know with me, they say at 5,000 miles, it's time for me to start thinking about coming in there, getting that oil change again. And I don't know if they're trying to, okay, now I could guarantee that he's going to come in during this time and get, probably pull the money out of my pocket. Maybe so. But I know that, especially when you drive a certain car, you have to make sure the maintenance is up on it or it's going to cost you a lot of money.
And then some cars are built to last. And it just depends. And you should know your car.
And
you should know what you bought. You should know what's wrong with it. If anything was wrong with it at all, you got to remember there's a maintenance schedule for those people who make cars. They have you on a maintenance schedule.
Exactly. But see, doesn't that also hold true? Because I'm gonna tell you something, Leonard, and I was this way for a long time, and maybe you're this way now. I don't know, but I could have some kind of ache or some kind of somewhere, and I try to ride that thing out, man. I try to ride that, man. Look here, man. I ain't trying to go to that doctor, especially now with the COVID situation. A lot of people don't want to go to the doctor because they say they go to the doctor, they're exposing themselves to COVID, and so they can have an ache somewhere, and with that ache, they ain't going to the doctor. Oh no, no, I'll be okay. I'll take some Tylenol. Is that is?
Well, I mean, it just depends on your need for the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of people make up things not to go to be given information about what the actual issue is and decide not to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get a second opinion. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lots of reasons why people don't like to go to the doctor. And I
Mm-hmm.
know one reason is because it's expensive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it is, and it is. Mm-hmm. But
And who runs to the doctor for every ache and pain? Who?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when I hear, I say it's good to go to get a checkup to make sure things are okay
Mm-hmm.
regularly, maybe once a year. I think I usually have mine, and I go for a physical checkup in March usually. But
Mm-hmm.
then there are other appointments in between that, which may negate having the checkup because I'm already there. We've
Mm-hmm.
already done this.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, say, for instance, a physical or something like that, man, yeah, that's scheduled.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And but a
That's a
lot of
lot what that is.
but Leonard, I know you know just like I do, man. A lot of people don't take the physical, but they go get a physical once at least once a year. People don't do that. People ain't gonna do that, man. They ain't got time to.
Because they feel fine.
There's
Like
a.
I said before, you don't usually go to a doctor unless you're sick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're not sick, you have no need for a doctor.
We do, and I love where you're going with this thing, man. We do preventive maintenance for our car. I got to ride a lawnmower. I do preventive before the spring come real good. I do bump preventive maintenance on my lawnmower. Make sure I change the oil, the spark plugs, and all that stuff. So when the summer get here and the grass start to grow, I'm ready to cut it. We do all these preventive maintenance, man. Even when we cook a meal, sometimes we cook a meal, we'll marinate the meat for X amount of time just to make sure that it's ready. We'll do all these things with everything around except our health, especially men, especially us as men. We don't want to go to the doctor, man. We don't want to go to the
Man,
doctor.
I'm not agreeing to that.
Hmm?
I'm not agreeing to that.
Okay, tell me your point.
Men who have problems do go to the doctor,
But when they
but men who don't
when they feel something,
feel
only.
function,
Mm-hmm.
they don't usually go to the doctor
Mm.
because nothing's wrong with them.
How do you know?
Well, if you worried about it, go. But if you ain't, you wouldn't go.
But see, my thing
And
is
people that are worried too much are called hypochondriacs.
and see, but my thing is right here. You said yourself, and you said yourself that every March, that's when you go and get your physical. That's preventive maintenance right there. Because in March, you're gonna go get that physical, you're gonna find out what's going on, if there's anything at all. And most of the time there's nothing wrong. Sean, good morning, Sean. Good to have you, brother. Good morning, David. Good to have you as well. Podhead, good to have you too. But and the phone lines are open. Some of y'all gentlemen, give us a call. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. I'd love to have your input. Men and me and Leonard are standing on different sides of this right here. And that's a good thing. We don't have to always agree. I say that men don't go to the doctor as often as they should. Leonard say that they will go to the doctor if something was wrong, and I'm not disagreeing with him. If something is wrong, hopefully they will go to the doctor. But outside of that, just for that preventive maintenance, we as men, we're not gonna volunteer to go to that doctor. Go ahead, Leonard.
I mean, I don't have a problem with going to the doctor. However, I don't care to go to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to because of my medical situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
And then a lot of times you have to remember if a doctor's not telling you any new information or anything like that, why are you going to keep going?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
there's an incentive to make sure you get a physical. However, you don't go to a doctor unless something's wrong with you,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
and that's just how it is. And most men get up and can go to work, have fun, enjoying themselves. They're not going to go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Let's
I mean,
see.
who wants to just, like say for instance, even with that scheduled maintenance thing, if
Mm-hmm.
my car is doing fine and I've been getting the oil change and all this type of stuff, and now you say I need a tune up, why? Just so
Mm-hmm.
you can collect money for a tune up? Did you run a diagnostic to see if something was wrong, or you just in the business of making money off tune up?
Mm-hmm. You're in the tune-up business.
So
Precision.
it's just like some people just change oil,
Mm-hmm.
just do brakes. So you fix what's wrong. You know
Mm-hmm.
what? What sense does it make your car running fine, but you know what? I'm gonna go get a new engine.
No, 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 no. Now that part doesn't make sense. But my thing is,
Exactly.
I'm talking about the preventive maintenance, and there's such thing called, and that's what they call it. That's a technical term for preventive maintenance. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Oh, yeah, doing all right.
You know, this is way out Wednesday, so ain't no telling what we're gonna get today, brother. Ain't no telling what we're gonna get. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I'm asking a question. Tucson, from where you're standing and your experiences with yourself and other men that you know, do we do what we do? Do we take the proper precautions when it comes to preventive maintenance on our health? Like I was saying earlier, if something's wrong with our car, every X amount of miles we go get the oil change, we go get the tune up, and all those things. That's preventive maintenance. Something's wrong with your lawnmower, you're gonna go get it fixed. Whatever it is that you have, you're gonna put more more effort into making sure that there's preventive maintenance. But do we do the same thing with our health as men?
We do the same thing that some do with their cars.
Mm-hmm.
Keep rolling when the check engine light comes. If it don't cause the vehicle to run any different, we don't see no problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we
Yeah,
don't do that preventive
I mean,
maintenance.
no, some do because if they don't, it'll kill 'em. The doctor has to instruct them when if they go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you got to get me to go to the doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something has to be going on, definitely, without a shadow of doubt,
Mm-hmm.
for me to even consider going
Consider.
to the
Yeah.
doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody touching me. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
nobody poking and prying because some of the things that we need checking don't feel good. It's
Yeah.
not manly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's areas they ain't got no business. They ain't got no business proper doing nothing to. Mm-hmm.
No, and matter of fact, I here's a personal thing. When about a year ago, well, almost to the date, a little bit over now, when I had to go for my grandchild, my son, and I don't even want to go into the details because it is, it's specific. But after I came back, my body I started feeling things.
Mm-hmm.
And because of my age, I said I better go check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know, Leonard, when they say ultrasound for men, I'm thinking, I've watched TV and I've been in the room when you want to check and see if what the baby is. They do ultrasound on women
Yeah. Yeah.
and they go, what, the stomach and double. Well, when you want to check, especially some things for men, and they say ultrasound, run
Mm. Mm.
because there's a probe that they use that they use that'll make you feel violated.
Good Lord. I ain't never.
You keep saying good morning. You
Mm-hmm.
keep on.
Mm.
You keep on. When you talk about prostrate and colons, um, unfortunately, young man, they got to reach around the backside.
Mm.
What areas that some had in the past, some men don't want you around the backside.
No, no. Mm-mm. That's an exit, brother.
And I tell you what happened to me. It was a lady, and she did her probing. Man, I tell you what, when I seen her down the aisle after the procedure, I got on the other side. I was terrified of
Literally, and see and that's what it is, man. We got a few people on the phone line. Our next caller up was is Monique. Monique, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Monique, we're talking about men and health. Do we do everything that we need to do as men to make sure that we remain healthy? Take all the precautionary measures that we need to make or take to make sure that we are physically fit.
Um, from what I see, no.
Mm-hmm.
For some unknown reason, just like I ran across somebody that, where his blood pressure was, you know, sky high, and he told me he didn't have high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised because, I remember myself, they wouldn't even allow me to leave the doctor's office
Mm.
until my blood pressure went down. So I was just surprised. And he said it's been consistently high. So, but he feels he doesn't have high blood pressure.
Mm.
And another thing, too, is you mentioned physical fit. I noticed that, they harp on women a lot about, weight, uh, being overweight. But I noticed here lately that, a lot of men have been, overweight, especially
Mm-hmm.
in the stomach area.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think that they're not, taking the preventive measures. It just
Mm-hmm.
seems like they harp on everybody, women, but for themselves, I don't see them, taking heed to some of the things that they might mention to women about their weight. Um, but yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
all I have to say about that for now.
Good deal. Good deal. Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what up, man? What's
Hey,
going on,
hey,
y'all?
what's going on with you, Curtis? What's going on with you, man? Curtis, do we do enough, man? In regards to men, do we do enough individually and collectively as men to make sure that we stay healthy, stay fit, and stay on top of this health thing? Do we as men do we do enough?
Nah, nah. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we definitely F on that report card.
Mm.
We definitely get F on that report card. I don't know, men. We just don't like to go to the hospital. Man.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't. I mean, like for me, man, I hate the smell of iodine.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I just hate the smell of iodine. But I'm with Donald too, because I had to have a retinal exam, man. This dude came in there, man. I swear for God, looked like his fingers just never ended. He how mom and them used to say, "Oh, that boy got piano hands."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, this guy looked like he had the pipe organ hands
Good Lord.
that he sat in one part of the pit, and the pipe organ was up behind the choir, man.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Lord Jesus.
But no, we don't do enough, man. And we cover it up in like, oh, I gotta work, and
Mm-hmm.
we make a whole lot of excuses as to uh, why we not going to the doctors. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Maybe it's the fear of knowing that somebody might tell you that, hey, boy, this gonna be your last day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's I don't know.
And Leonard, do you think that could have something to do with it, the fear of the reality of the situation, man? We go in there and he give us some bad news and that we didn't want to hear.
Yes, no one's looking for bad news.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, that's one thing. If you don't feel bad, a lot of people not going to no doctor. You go
Mm-hmm.
for a checkup, maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
usually it's motivated by something being wrong. Something's not feeling well, or what have you, or
Mm-hmm.
your body lets you know it's time to go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's something that you can't fix, people who run to the doctor every time they get a stomach ache. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be in a proper perspective. Now, other people's personal issues with going to the doctor may be deep seated in some other experience. I go to
Mm-hmm.
the doctor more than enough. So it's not, something, just a way to find out what's going on to me and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if you don't have no issues, no, you ain't hanging out in no doctor's office. For what? That costs money.
Mm-hmm. Every time you go.
You're right, right. So a lot of people are not trying to. Why would I give you my money for you to tell me nothing new?
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's why we have to go get that checkup at least once a year. So if there was any indication on the things that you cannot see, like your
Mm-hmm.
blood work and
Yeah.
things like that, that's important
Mm-hmm.
to know. So you should do that at least once a year. Some people have to do it twice a year. If you're on a lot of medications and you have other issues, you have to do it more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just based on everybody's individual situation. And them brothers is funny. I've had too many procedures to really feel any kind of way not these days. So
Mm-hmm.
I think my doctor prefers the blood way to detect prostate
Mm-hmm.
cancer. That's a very big deal with colon cancer as well. And everybody act like the doctor's practicing medicine, but it's up to you to take care of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
not the doctor.
Now, Leonard, with that being said, I can agree with you 110% when you say that, man, because how often is it? When's the last time when we was younger, I'm sure we did. But now at the age that we are right now, when last time we exercised, man? Jumping jack, push up, running, play, anything. When the last time
I
we
don't know
really,
when the last time y'all exercised.
when last time you exercised, Leonard?
Yesterday. And I'll be
Okay.
going after the show goes off today.
You exercise every day?
Usually I'm always going to be walking, running, or something like that during
Mm-hmm.
the day to get some movement going or what
Mm-hmm.
have you. I'm just getting ready to get back in the strength training because I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do that for some time.
Okay.
So, moving it, but you doing something. I mean, I guess there are some people that ain't doing nothing and you can tell. But
Some folks, some some folks say, now watch them go to Tucson. He might say the very thing. Some folks say that well, I exercise when I'm walking around the job. There's exercise. I'm exercising. No,
if
brother.
that's the only, like I said, I'm trying to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a motive for the
Mm-hmm.
exercise. It's
Mm-hmm.
weight loss. So I don't know why other people would or would not be doing. Like I said, when you look at younger people exercise and they're very healthy. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that age makes a difference.
They still got that metabolism. They still got
Yeah,
that good metabolism.
right. Age makes a difference, and plus,
Mm-hmm.
you also have to look at eating.
Mm-hmm.
And this, that, and the other. And like the last thing I'm gonna do is raise a question about somebody else if I got issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's fun to laugh and joke, but it comes to a point where, like, say for instance, like the sister said, "Oh, I ain't got high blood pressure." Okay, I bet you that's what you're gonna die of, though,
Mm-hmm.
since you ain't got it.
Mm-hmm. It
And
has
be
a way of
stupid if
sneaking up.
you won't. The people don't told you got high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
Man,
want to ignore it, ignore it. Trust me, it'll kill you when it gets ready.
mm-hmm. Man, man, I ain't got no high blood pressure. What
Yeah,
them people talk about, man?
fine,
I feel fine. I feel
fine. But like,
okay.
yeah, see, that's why I don't
Okay.
have this. Sometimes I seem a little different because I don't have this overwhelming amount of emotion for things.
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do, you gonna do. I'm not gonna fret
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Yeah. Now, see, I ain't heard that in a while. What you gonna? I ain't gonna fret about it, boy. You
No,
went way.
I'm just
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
one, I'm not gonna sit there and just make you not eat or make you lose weight or nothing like that's up to you.
Yeah.
But that's why
Yeah.
we burying people because of what they eat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you, like you say, not exercising. That is so important. If I don't move, my joints and stuff freeze up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And I what I need to do is get back into. I used to stretch a lot, man. Throughout high school and all that stuff, man. Sports and martial arts and stuff like that. I used to stretch all the time, and I could tell now that I hadn't stretched in a while like I supposed to. I can tell, man, because your body will tell you. Your body will tell you. Tucson, do you exercise, brother?
In this chair I'm sitting in. Oh boy, I ain't mad at myself. Uh, I'm watching my figure all right, and ain't nobody else looking.
Look, watching, trying to figure out what it's gonna do
Man,
next.
we do that them curls. Every time you reach for another bite, you do that curl and you just continue. I know a
Lord.
lot of people, they go to the gym. I see them jogging and walking and riding bike and stuff like that. I wish I would.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying that. And then it telling me when you have a problem tying your shoes, you got to tie one, take a breath, and tie the other one.
Mm.
And that ought to tell you something.
That's an indication.
Yeah, but them chicken sandwiches taste so.
Mm-hmm. With all this
And
salt,
like
with
it's
all the
like,
different sauce on it.
you have to excuse me. I like to joke. I like to clown. I don't take stuff serious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get emotional about stuff. It's not that I look at things lightly. I just don't. I try to be calm
Mm-hmm.
most of the time because hypertension will kill you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
People exercise and they do go on the weight loss program and all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, they let everything cause them to be emotional.
Mm-hmm.
That'll kill you with your health itself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A
And we don't watch what we eat.
oh no. Yeah, we watch it. We watch it. We watch it
So
while we're eating it.
I'm on a seafood diet right now.
Mm-hmm. See all the food you can eat. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Monique, what do you say to that, sis? What's on your heart? Talk to me.
Well, I just had surgery 2 weeks ago. I had my gallbladder removed,
Mm-hmm.
and I think after that, that's when I made the decision that I have to be more mindful of my health.
Mm-hmm.
So now I started walking, and
Mm-hmm.
and I could feel the difference. And even because of the gallbladder removal, I had to change the way that I eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able to even just within a week, I've seen the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't not as sluggish as I usually am. So but I think you have to really set your mind, kind of like change your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
because I've worked out. I was in the military forever,
Mm-hmm.
so but I just didn't. I think back then I saw working out as, okay, this is my job. I got to do this. I didn't see it as that this is a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I go in certain neighborhoods, I notice everybody walking their dog, they running, and then I go in another neighborhood, everybody sitting down, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just doing nothing. And I realized that, okay, it's a mindset. I got to change the way I think. I can't look at working out or just doing any type of physical activity as a hindrance. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking it's 24 hours in a day. I should be able to find at least 30 minutes to an hour to dedicate it to some form of exercising.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And So I just think that we have to, change our mindset towards that,
Okay.
from the way we eat to, exercise.
That's good. That's good. Curtis, what would you say to somebody? They come up to you, man. They say, Curtis, I'm worried about you, brother. I'm worried about you, man. I saw you running the other day, man. Was somebody chasing you? And you just out there trying to exercise, brother. You just trying to get a little exercise in. I saw you running, man. I was somebody chasing you? What you out there running for, Curtis?
What's your question? Yeah, what's your question?
That is the question. What you out there running for?
Oh,
You out there trying to exercise, trying to get it in, trying to be fit, and there's something that's new. You don't usually do that, and now they looking at you talking about, man, was somebody chasing you, man? I saw you out there running. Was somebody chasing you or something? What's wrong with you?
I wouldn't feel no type of way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel appreciative. Are you paying attention to me enough like that?
Mm-hmm.
Why you ain't get out and find out?
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't feel no type of way. I mean, it's hard for me to run, man. You got. I wish I could. I kid you not. I wish I could, but it's hard for me to run. I got a fake left knee and supposed to be having a fake right knee installed. So, my joints, because of my health condition, my joints is I have the joints of like a 70-year-old man, 60, 70-year-old man. But it's okay. I mean, I just kind of started exercising again. Like I'm at the beginning phases. I ain't nowhere near where I want to be. But what I will say to people is, while we talking about this thing, set measurable goals. Because a lot of people don't continue working out because the goals that they set are not measurable. If you're 50 years old, you trying to get yourself, you saying, I want to look 25 again, set a measurable goal. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to be 5 again. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is sometimes you look at some of these advertisements for some of these diet programs and this, that, and the third. They'll show you this older guy, maybe 65, body cut up the chisel.
Yeah.
Don't show you is, well, that dude is probably a workout guru, 1. 2, he probably spends 2 to 3 hours in the gym every day. How many of us have 2 to 3 hours to spend at a gym every day? Then on top of that, lastly, when you think from a healthy perspective and a muscles and bones perspective, in all reality, you shouldn't be spending 22 hours in a gym working out anyway. Your workout should not be no 2 hours.
Yeah. Break your body down.
Parents, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, I would appreciate the fact that somebody, hey man, what's going on? Like, I don't ever see you running. Okay, thank you. I mean, I know somebody looking, somebody watching out for me, or trying to anyway.
Exactly. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are having a beautiful and blessed day.
Yes, sir. We're talking about men and health. Badger, do we take our health as serious as we should as men?
It's probably a 50-50, to be honest. I think it depends. Some of us do our best to. Some of us are too busy having to work. But I think, I would think a lot of people would take their health into consideration. However, you also have a bunch of people out here that are like, I can drink all the alcohol I want. Or, or the real good ones, here, hold my beer. That it just, can we pee on an electric fence? So, like, what kind of health are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Exercise. Exercise. Do we take the time to exercise as we should? Do we take the time to go to the doctor and make sure that we're physically fit? We don't have any ailments that we need to know about, or are we afraid? Are we afraid, Badger, to even find out?
Oh man, yeah, I was actually when I collapsed, I did not want to find out what was wrong with me
Mm-hmm.
because I was worried about the answer, and
Mm-hmm.
now I have to figure out how to exercise in a safe manner to
Mm-hmm.
not to not risk damaging myself even farther.
Yeah. 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 And that's the thing right there. A lot of times we're really afraid to go to that doctor and do that preventive maintenance that I was talking about earlier because we don't want to know. A lot of times you go to that doctor, man, he gonna give you some bad news. Some news that you don't want to hear. Let me go to Tucson. No, sorry. Let me go to Rico. Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. Welcome to a beautiful new day, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome as well. Rico, as men, I know you exercise quite often, but as men as a whole, do we exercise? Do we do the preventive maintenance that we need to do to make sure that we remain healthy and remain there for our families? Thank you.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
oh no. I mean, you hear the warnings in the headlines all the time about black men not going to the doctor for prostate exams. How
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable they are. I had one time, and I ain't had one since then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Knowing I need one, I'm 10 years overdue. You know, I'm 49 years old now. I should have
Mm-hmm.
started at 40.
Yeah.
So you know, that experience from that first one, it's sort of traumatizing. I didn't know, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I was young when I had it. I didn't know. I thought when they gave you a prostate exam, they just grab you by the cup and tell you to
Yeah.
cough.
Yep. Yep.
They
Yep.
told me to bend over. I was like, wait a minute, what you
What been on
talking
what?
about?
Exactly.
Bend over,
Exactly. What?
relax,
Mm-mm.
put them gloves
Mm-mm.
on and that KY. Wait a minute.
Man, what you about to do with that?
Then the after effect. The
Mm-hmm.
after effect. I walked around, man, that day, man, and my homeboy like, man, Rico, what's wrong with you, man? You normally talking to man. I was just like, bro, that was an uncomfortable feeling, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
ain't never had to deal with that, even though it was a
Mm-hmm.
medical procedure.
Yeah.
So we don't take advantage of stuff like that like we're supposed to. Our diets, you know, we
Mm-hmm.
have all these health problems, especially in the black community, black men, we have health problems. And we don't like to go to the doctor because that doctor might tell us we can't eat these chitlins every
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving. We got
Mm-hmm.
to lay
Exactly.
off that ham and turkey. You know, we love them big
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving and 4th of July and Christmas dinner plates. We
Mm-hmm.
like going to
Exactly.
buffets. We like eating the finer things. But these finer
Mm-hmm.
things, even the restaurants we go to, we like to say, well, hey, man, I had Papado and Ruth's Chris.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't tricking if you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
you tricking yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because all that
Mm-hmm.
MSG and sodium and all that in that food, you done had
Mm-hmm.
more than enough of it. And we would prefer to do what we want to do than what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So do we
Exactly.
have enough time? I hear people say all the time they don't have time to exercise. But I remember when I was young and I always held myself to this standard. I ain't gonna even say held myself to this standard. I held it against myself for not doing the same thing because it was so simple. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can have time to do as much as you want to do when you want to do what you want to do. But Herschel
Mm-hmm.
Walker said, and I heard this when I was I was probably still in elementary school. Every commercial, he said he was a fat boy.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't run. And he was running one day and some boys caught him and beat him up on some railroad tracks, did him wrong. He made a vow that he would be in shape from then on. He would never get tired and he was going to be able to defend himself. So every commercial that came on since had turned into a couch potato, he did as many push-ups and sit-ups as he could during commercial break. That was
Mm-hmm.
he mind screwed himself, but
Mm-hmm.
he found a way to get motivated. So every commercial break, can you imagine a person every commercial break when they sitting up looking at TV every day, doing
Mm-hmm.
push-ups and sit-ups until the commercials are over with?
Yeah.
1 minute and a
Wow.
half.
And then so after that, I think he started doing it as he was watching shows, because sometimes you don't have to watch what you want to look at. You can just listen to it and hear what it is that they're saying. But we are conditioned. We have been conditioned to
sit there and watch,
pay attention, and receive the programming that we have delivered for you. And we enjoy this programming. We enjoy our recreational time, our luxuries. And so that keeps us from doing the things that we need to do over the things we want to do.
Exactly. Got a few people on the phone line, but Shannon, she said this right here. Rico, read that for me.
Good morning. Most are afraid to go to the doctor to find out because of the fear of the outcome. That part is that part is that. Can you imagine being told you can't eat ice cream no more? You can't eat cheese no more, but macaroni and cheese is your favorite dish. You got to find a way to try to make it out of cauliflower. Or you got to go vegan. So, I mean, look at what the vegans are doing now. Vegans are finding a way to manipulate food to make it taste like the meat that we like to eat, to make it taste like our favorite foods. They're tricking you into being healthy because society doesn't want to be healthy on its own. You asked that question earlier. I got an old friend that stopped me one time about a month and a half ago. Man, Rico, why I always see you walking? I went from 6 miles to 10 miles a day. And right now I got a damaged foot. My foot been damaged for a week, and half the days I still been trying to walk those 10 miles, and I messed my foot up even more by doing that. My swelling ain't went down yet because I'm on that kick. But he asked me, why I always see you walking? And I was like, man, that really shows you how out of whack we are. You know, I know people that would drive around the corner. And I could walk that same distance and beat them now. By the time they get in their car, crank it up, go around the corner, and get out of that car, I would beat them. But we will use that gas, that convenience.
Man, Rico, I know people, man, and crazy. I know people that'll ride around the parking lot 3 or 4 times, 5 or 6 times, and trying to find a closer parking space than the one that's way on back there. You know, there's plenty of parking spaces back there.
Yep.
But they're gonna ride around till somebody come out, and they're gonna get that close parking space, and
they'll sit there and wait. They'll wait on somebody to get finished and bag out.
Exactly. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Cassandra, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit with you, and I'm gonna ask you this question. We're talking about health this morning, and men, do we take our health as serious as we should? Do the preventive maintenance and things of that nature? But let me change it up with you just a little bit. Are we eating ourselves to death?
That's the question for me?
Yes. Are we eating ourselves to death?
Hello?
Yes. Cassandra?
Hello?
Cassandra, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we hear you. Are we
okay?
Are we eating ourselves to death?
Absolutely. I know I am. I don't eat the way I should. I'm doing better now, but I definitely don't eat the way I should. And I feel like us as a people, we have more issues with our health than most groups in certain areas, especially heart disease, colon cancer, prostate cancer for the men, heart disease for the that is crazy how Black women have the highest rate of heart disease. So it's definitely something that breast cancer. I mean, so that means we're doing something wrong. And I think our eating habits are a huge part of that. And preventive maintenance is important. Like I'm right now 2 years overdue for my mammogram. I was supposed to have one every 6 months. I did it for like a couple of years and then I stopped. That means I'm 2 years behind in having mammogram. We have to choose to do better and to live healthier and to eat healthier. That's why I'm in the kitchen most times when we're talking in the morning. I'm making me an omelet, a healthy omelet. You know, I'm trying to do better. And that's what we have to do. We have to do better.
Exactly. Toya with a T, good morning. How you doing this morning? Toya.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Toya, I'm gonna stay with that question with you because I know that you are a nutritionist. You have your food truck and everything. You're doing some great things out there, and you've been in the food industry for a long time. Looking at the food industry, Are we eating ourselves to death? Some of the stuff that you see, like, man, that stuff got so much of this in it or so much of that in it, and it's really not healthy, but it's good. I mean, it tastes amazing. It tastes amazing, but are we eating ourselves to death?
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're killing us. They're
Wow.
killing us because what they're making is plastic and concrete cleaner, and that's why it looked like you got a basketball on your stomach.
Good y'all.
Because what they're making are components of stuff. It's not food. That's for one. For two, it's one simple thing that we don't do that, again, it causes us to kill ourselves. How many people you know that don't drink water? You know how important water is. So now you done ate 7 years of plastic and no water. I don't like water. I said, so, well, do you wash your face with Coke? What you mean you don't like water? That's a very key component because it's nothing to push the sludge out now.
Yeah.
You just add the sludge on top of sludge on top of sludge on top of sludge on top of a carpet cleaner on top of concrete cleaner on top of plastic. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a twofold thing. They're killing us with the production. Remember, I said yesterday, we went from doing our own houses and our own land to now buying it from them like we can't survive. But again, it's a system behind it because what I feed you, it can affect what's going on in your brain. What you use on your skin topically, it can affect you in ways that cause mental issues. This is true. Brazil nuts, do you know they're like Prozac?
Wow.
So, of course, I would want to take away the real Brazil nut and give you a fake one. Because some of the things that come in these real fruits and vegetables works wonders. Some of these herbs and spices, they works wonders. So, yes, that's exactly why I learned about different things to help affect the issues in our communities. My mom had she had a quadruple, like a 6 bypass surgery 10 years ago. My dad has diabetes. All right, 12 years ago now. But their big thing was, I don't like to eat healthy because it doesn't taste good. Okay, well, I don't want you dead. So we got to come up to some kind of conclusion. You understand what I'm saying? So I had to learn how to teach them how to eat healthy, but for it to taste well. And believe it or not, there's some of the herbs and spices that we use will work wonders for all of these things we got coming from these factories. For example, most of these things that may be plastic. Have you heard about some of the meats that they put glue in to keep them together? Have you heard about that?
No, I have not. No.
Okay. So some of our red meats that are like steaks, there's the thin little plastic piece sometime in most of these meats. It's not plastic, but it looks like a little lining. Okay. Sometimes some of these manufacturers, they use glue to keep some of these things together.
Good Lord.
Sometimes when things are almost going bad, then they add seasoning. Well, again, that goes to what I say. So glue will act like a plaque, which will clog your arteries, which will give us hypertension and heart attacks. Okay, so ginger and turmeric fights that. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to learn how to eat with a purpose, because not only are they killing us, but even overabundance, God says it all the time, anything in moderation, but an overabundance of some things you need to learn how to fight. So now it's about learning how to fight when we eat instead of just, letting the chitlins do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? You want to eat chitlins? Fine. Add you some turmeric and ginger. Not only will it taste better, but it'll affect you. You know what I'm saying? It'll give you healthy effects. But absolutely, they're killing us with the food they're producing. We're eating ourselves to death. And at the end of the day, it's like, nobody knows the problem. Even to the point to where if the FDA knows that over 10-year time, you can get cancer from eating MSG, your joints are going to swell. Now, when you go to the doctor, you know what they're going to say? Because it's already in the books. They already know these things, does this thing. Now they're going to act like they don't know what's wrong with you, because they know that those are components of what you've been eating, which was approved by the FDA. It's a huge mind game, y'all. But we got to get educated when they eat. And that's what I'm here for.
Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart? And I know you do a lot of research with the stuff that's in food, and you're very healthy. You try to be very healthy in what you eat and what you put into your mouth. Leonard, are we eating ourselves to death, brother? Is some of this food killing? Because let me say this to you too. A lot of times people say that they've never smoked or drank or anything in their lives, and they're coming up with cancer and different things of that nature. Could it be contributed to the foods?
Yes, it's something you ingested.
Mm-hmm.
You don't come with it,
Mm-hmm.
so it's something you ingested. It's
Wow.
something that was put in you. Other than those people who have genetic issues, most of the thing is, see, diet is medicine. Food is like medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look at it that way. You wouldn't take a bottle of Tylenol, would you?
No.
So why would you sit up there and eat 4 and 5 pounds of meat?
Mm.
I
Mm.
mean, come on, man. Um, I have issues with food. I love food.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be very careful of the food that I eat because the moment you overindulge in something, your body gonna let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't eat certain things all the time. You have to eat a
Yeah.
mixture of things, a combination of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like Toya just said, water, for instance. I stopped having a lot of conversations with people because it just comes to the point where it ain't even worth the time. It's just not. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna argue with you about eating better.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what it is. Come on, man.
Something that you should want to do for yourself.
I see, and my attitude is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when there's some people that are just incredibly ignorant, I don't really fool with them. You know,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
because it's not that they don't want to know. Well, they don't want to know. It's there. The information's there, but they're more into how they feel. So
Mm-hmm.
if they feel better eating, that's what they're going to do. If it tastes good, that's what they're going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's easy and if it's cheap, the more you're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's the thing. And you said that, which transitions me right to my next question. A badger coming to you. All these processed foods that we eat, all the processed foods that we eat, man. What is that doing to us, Badger? And what are some of the things, you being who you are, what are some of the things that we could use from the land that's gonna help make us be healthier?
Oh man, you had to go there. You had to throw that one at me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of herbology. I mean, herbology and alchemy. The things that's been considered witchcraft for a very long time. It's depending on the region you live, you got to get away from anything that has Monsanto involvement. Just stay away from all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you also gotta, doing the Three Sisters wouldn't be bad. Beans, corn, uh, native corn. The colored corn. It's like
Mm-hmm.
purple and white, and it's really pretty. Not the generic, genetically altered yellow corn that most people eat nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like white willow bark is a natural aspirin. You can use pine tar to help with certain things. There's every most things on this planet is either going to do one of two things. It's either going to help something in your body, depending on how much of it you eat, or it's going to hurt you. If it's
Mm-hmm.
poisonous, don't eat it. There's certain nightshades. If you eat too much nightshades, it can hurt you, but eating it can also help you. So there's a lot of study to it, and I wouldn't recommend anyone just go out there and do it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it's definitely like people have different body sizes, different weights, things like that. That's why it's a science. It's not, a lot of that knowledge is not just done to do it, or it, it, it like I could take a full tablespoon of like 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. But my wife is like half the size of me, so she shouldn't be having that much because too much cinnamon could possibly mess with somebody, or too much turmeric, or like there's so many different things that you have to understand that even in the natural world, things are a science. You know, if you take too much of something and if it makes you sick, don't do it again, and don't keep taking it.
Exactly. Cassandra, what are some of the things that we indulge in that we say taste good, but we know it ain't no good for us, Cassandra? But yet and still, we still want to eat it or drink it.
I want to go back to Toya first, and I want to thank Toya for mentioning water, because I can literally raise my hand and both feet when it comes to drinking water. I drink maybe a glass of water a week, maybe.
Good Lord.
Maybe. I hate always. I'm 62, and this has been my trend since I was a kid. I don't like drinking water, and the older I'm getting, the more I realize that I need to drink water, specifically for me.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of health issues, and really, water would help me tremendously, and I still don't like water. That's ridiculous. That's me being stupid, and I'm being an enemy to myself, to my own body. So I want to thank her for mentioning that, because that is an area that I right now I have a case of water. I have a case of water because some people have come over that I've had in my refrigerator for over a month, and most of the bottles are still there. I think I may have drank one bottle out of that whole case of water.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So I don't have anybody to blame but myself. And most of us, when we're having health issues and different things going on, we can't blame anybody but ourselves and our own ignorance, because that's my ignorance, that I won't drink water. Something that simple that could help me, and I won't drink it.
And my thing is, a lot of times, and not that anybody's better than anybody else. Everybody like what they like. You know, some things that other people may like that may be very healthy for them. I just can't get with it. But water is one of the things. I sit here, man, while I'm broadcasting, I drink 2 waters while I'm broadcasting, man. I drink one. I get up, and when y'all see the screen go blank, I'm going over there to get me another water. That's what I'm doing, because I love water. I just my wife don't. It's a battle to get. She's like you, Cassandra. It's a battle to get my wife to drink water. It really is, but I love it. Curtis, what's on your heart?
That's the trick of the devil.
Huh?
That's the trick of the devil. God talks about being the water of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? That is the trick of the devil, because if you don't like water, like I said, go wash your clothes in Coke then.
Yeah.
Go wash your face with some Coke if you don't like water. Well, you don't like water, then don't use it at all. That should be a key indicator. When we clean something, what do we use?
Water.
People use more water on their car than their bodies. They take more care of their car than they do their body.
Yep.
And that's a trick of the devil. We have to rebuke that before it take us up out of here.
Yep. And like I said, man, while I'm broadcasting, and this every morning, man, I drink at least 2 bottles of water while I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here drinking water. When we finish, I have to make that little run. You make when you drink a lot of water, you have to make that run. But I'm drinking my water. I'm definitely gonna drink my water. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Curtis, you there?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm with the sons. I'm one of them too. And I mean, I'm finding that.
You kind of low there, Curtis. You kind of low, brother.
I said I'm finding that. I said I'm with Cassandra because I don't like, and I'm finding that for those people who want to lose weight, water is the easiest way to do it. You know what I mean? But I don't drink it because my body don't hold it. Like if I drink some water, man, I'm going to the bathroom.
Everybody do that.
Like water runs straight through me. Like it ain't even no hold to it. But lately,
Kurt, you got to understand too, though, Kurt. You got to understand if that be the case, that could be a good thing, because what is it pushing out of you? What's coming out with that water?
Nah, well, I get that.
And lately I've been doing a lot better. What I did was, some people can't stand the taste of tap water. And a lot of your bottled water companies, they sell you like, oh, we got spring water, la 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 la. Well, there's a documentary on Netflix that specifically talk about it. That ain't no tap water. That ain't no spring water they selling you. They selling you tap water. They selling you tap water straight out the straight from the tap of the company. Wherever they bottling this water, it's coming straight from the tap. It ain't got nothing to do with spring. So, but what I'm finding is, I drank more water. I went and bought 2 filter pitchers. You know, the pitchers that's got the white filter, and you pour the water inside, and then it filters down. So I'm drinking more of that water, and I'm doing better. Like for real, my body. When I drink water from my tap pitcher, I don't have to use the bathroom as much. It has a better taste. When I drink water, like if I'm at work and I drink some water from the fountain, or if I drink some water from the tap in my house, that thing runs straight through me. So, but yeah, I'm with Cassandra, and I've been like that. Yeah, pretty much ever since I was a kid. Like, and I can't drink lukewarm water. I hate lukewarm water. I like for my water to be cold. But cold water is not good for you.
No, it really isn't. I drink my when I drink my water. I never put it in the fridge. Room temperature is what I drink. That's the kind of water I like to drink. Now later, I know why. You know, a lot of times you drink a lot of water too, because I see when we're on broadcast, either you're drinking tea or you're drinking some water. What do you say, Rico? Coming to you next. What do you say, man, to our non-water drinkers, man? People that just, you know, and everybody got their own reason for doing what they do. Just some people just don't like it. I mean, what advice would you give them to help them on their journey?
None. Drink it or not. None. Nobody gonna be playing with you. You know about water.
Lord,
I mean, come on, man. I don't play with grown folks like little children. I don't. So you know what's good for you. I don't let folks tell you, oh, I don't like green vegetables. I just shake my head and go the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. You know, I'm not. Dude, do you? Do you? As long as you can. But it don't make no sense to come up with every reason in the world not to do what's best. Every time somebody tells you to do something that's best, you got an excuse for not doing that and not doing this and not. I don't even, man, come on. You're going to do what you're going to do anyway. If you don't want to drink it, don't drink it. You see what happened. But don't come to me complaining about this, that, or the other. Because I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I mean, you know what you should be doing. You know you eat too much. You know you fat. You know you can't barely breathe. You know these things. Why I got to sit over here and act like I'm your master? Go find out what's best for you and start doing that. Go do that. That's your business. Ain't nobody coming to help you. It ain't nobody's responsibility to feed you. Feed yourself. You go find out what's good for you. It ain't about what's in the stores. It's about what you choose to eat. You ain't got to eat that meat. You don't have to eat it. You don't have to eat nothing they got there if you don't want to.
You know what? Rico, I'm gonna tell you something. What used to blow my mind, man, even when I was a little fella, man. I don't know if people still eat it now or not. But people should eat this stuff called souse meat. You ever heard of that?
It's still very popular. My grandfather used to make that. And my mother used to love it. I mean, that was her thing. And also, let's dispel this other notion about black folks' diet.
Rico say.
Stop calling it black folks' diet. Because the things that you have called garbage, other people, these are mainstays in other people's diets. Like, say, for instance, people think that chitlins is trash. No, that's because if you only think about what you was told relating to slavery, you would think that.
Mm-hmm.
People eat chitlins all over the world. They just don't call them chitlins. But they've been eating them. They eat them all over the world. That don't mean I gotta eat them.
I would not.
I don't eat no pork.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
Oh, y'all don't know what y'all missing.
so
Yeah, we do.
I don't really hold it against people what they eat. If it works for you, it works for you. But there's a lot of data out here say it's causing a lot of problems. So, you know, it's hard for me to convince my friends to not eat so much meat sometimes.
Wow. Exactly. Let me go, Rico. What do you say to that, man? This South meat, man. I
South.
I don't know what.
SOUSE,
Man.
I believe.
I do not eat that mess, man. It don't look right. It look like a corduroy jacket. I ain't gonna call it a corduroy jacket, man. I don't know
why you crazy?
That junk nasty, man. I hate the smell of it, man. They call it
exactly.
sometimes they call it hog head cheese because it comes from the hog's head.
That's you're exactly right.
Man, I ain't eating nothing off no hog head. Let me tell you something. You had to trick me when I was young into eating anything off a pig anyway. Any kind of animal. You had to trick me when I was young. And see, that's funny because that goes to show you how we've been tricked. We had to be sort of conditioned to cold water.
Yeah.
Ice ain't always been around. Refrigerators have not always been around. But somehow the people that existed on this planet that are responsible for us being here, that made that survival, they were able to survive with all these extra luxuries and conveniences that we have. They didn't have ice. They had to get it out from the water that was available to them. Maybe they purified it. Maybe they found a way to boil it after time because they started realizing after they started getting more intelligent that there were diseases and parasites in the water that they had to get rid of that were causing some of the deaths. But we are so conditioned to cold water that, look, I'm big on health. I cannot stand lukewarm water. They tell you all the time when you take your prescriptions, take it with lukewarm room temperature water. They tell you that all the time. Man, I'm grabbing that water out the refrigerator. I'm getting that cold water. Even though I know it's bad for your teeth, it's bad for your body going down cold like that, all that stuff. But we like what we like.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're talking about the chitlins. Man, I used to love me some chitlins. But now it's like, and you know what, every now and then, I still get the urge to try them, but it's certain foods I eat now, immediately I can feel the grease. It feel like I hear cholesterol just marching down through my body. Here we go. Damage that. But in the past, I didn't feel it. But now I've done so much damage to my body that in the process of me actually taking the incentive to correct it or to make sure that I can extend my life, I've had a reversal. So now I can taste certain foods that automatically I can feel the damage that they'll do to my body. Yeah. But that's a choice I have to make. I'm still fighting Bluebell ice cream. See, this is what we'll do. Like we won't get out and we won't walk back and forth to the mailbox. That repetitive thing, but we'll do this repetitively.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna tell you what I did yesterday. I drove 65 miles to go get a jar of pineapples that cost $7 after taxes. Well, $6.80 something after taxes. Because the Sam's down here ran out. I love pineapples. They burn belly fat. These are the best pineapples I ever had in my life. They're so good that people that don't even like pineapples, when they taste them, they've been buying them. So we don't have them in the Sam's down here. I drove over an hour away, over 60 miles away last night to go get some pineapples because I like them. And they taste good. Now, had they been the bitter ones that I was getting before then, I would have just said, well, hey, we ain't got none. I'll wait till we restock. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we've been conditioned to make an effort to do the things we want to do. But when it comes to doing the things we need to do, we almost have to trick ourselves to get motivated to go do it.
Exactly.
We, like Leonard said, man, we make choices. They have healthy choices to let you know this is a healthier choice. But what's the odds of you going to get that healthier choice over getting the most expensive, the best name brand, best tasting one that
Mm-hmm.
might have a little bit too much sodium in it. Sometimes you have to let go a lot of things that you love because you overdid it. Like I said, I'm still fighting Bluebell ice cream. I'm still fighting it. That sugar.
That price
my
helped me.
thing-
That price helped my fight.
It almost got me. Hey, look,
$7.
that's another one too.
Woo.
Sometimes they can raise the price, and it will prove gas, food. It really shows you how conditioned we are. We'll complain about gas, but we'll still go spend all that gas and drive around the corner and waste that gas instead of conserving it or using it when it's practically, that we could use it practically. We could easily walk. So I mean, that we human beings, man, we love indulging, we love rewards, we love comfort, and we love feeling good. And now that has been most of our goals in life is to make sure that we feel good our entire life, even if it costs us in the end.
Exactly. And let me go to Monique. We got Toya with the T. She's on video with us, and Charles just came in, so I want to touch them as well. But right now, let me go to Monique. Monique, do you eat chitlins? How do you feel about this chitlin situation? Are we eating ourselves to death?
Oh, it's been years since I've eaten chitlins, but but I think as far as our health is concerned and how we eat, I think some of it too is habit and what we learn. Sometimes some habits are hard to break, and sometimes when you are around people, they can discourage you when you're trying to eat right. Even like if somebody don't want to eat pork, oh, I grew up on pork. Ain't nothing wrong with pork, So it's almost like they shame you in trying to eat right. Even to the point of if you say you're gonna work out and then you work out for a good week and then that next week you ain't working out. Oh, I thought you was gonna work out. So I think sometimes, that can get branded in your head where, okay, if I'm not consistent with it, then, I'll back off and don't start it up. So, like for myself, I might not be consistent, but I kind of like learn not to tell people what I'm doing. Because, some people say you should to be held accountable for it. But what I realized that it actually, messes with me a little bit. So I do it in silence. I don't make no grand announcement. I'm not posting nothing on Facebook. I just do it because this is supposed to be a way of life, and I don't need the judgmental, comments because I didn't do it or nobody's seen me doing it, or if they seen me eating, like Rico said, blue bell, ice cream after I just said I'm on a diet, So I think some of that plays, a part, too, and why, some people, are not, doing things to, correct their, their eating habits or, just their lifestyle altogether.
Exactly. Toy, you with a T? You there? There you go. Unmute yourself. Uh-oh. We can't hear you. Can't hear you. Okay. Says you're gonna call in. Charles, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
What's up, bro?
Hey, doing good. Charles, asking a question, man, and you get in the medical field, man. You can answer this question as well. Are we eating as a society, man? Are we eating ourselves to death?
No. It goes both ways, man. What we're doing is not moving around enough. You got to think about the stuff that, and people put this back, go all the way back to slavery and stuff like that. Stuff that the slaves ate. You got to remember, they also stayed out in the field and worked out. You understand? A watermelon, you know, got all kind of good stuff in it. The rind too. We just don't eat it the same way. The watermelon rind is just like Viagra, but people don't know that. You understand? And the pork, when you eat pork, if you want to eat pork, if you get out there and work out, the salt in pork helps your body. You understand? So the chicken, you know, the eggs, those things is actually a lot of stuff we eat are processed compared to what we used to eat. So that is killing us, the processed part. But the second part is that you're not even working out. You're not walking around. You're not doing nothing. That's the part that really clogs your arteries the most, is not moving. You know, not moving and not having, bowel movements and stuff, not moving. So I heard you ask a question about chitlins. I'll eat them. I mean, I don't go for broke and travel 60 miles for them like like the man who had the pineapple. But I can understand about the pineapple because they're healthy. But people don't eat, man. People eat everything around the world, man. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be a personal trainer, and people used to ask me, well, what do I eat for breakfast? I said, well, what do they eat in China for breakfast? Or what do they eat in Mexico for breakfast? You eat whatever you want to eat. It's breaking the fast. You know, they try to put you to stack up on proteins and carbs because you have a hard day. You got breakfast for farmers and you got breakfast for people in office. It's two different breakfasts. What makes your engine run, you know? The older the engine, the better food you better put in it. Same like a car.
Yes, sir.
the older the engine, the better you better take care of it better, you know?
Raheem.
Gas in them old engines.
Exactly.
An example I just thought of, Raheem.
Uh-huh.
Like, say, for instance, I used to work as a veterinary technician. I feed dogs certain diets based on what they do every day.
There you go.
So I will feed military working dogs maximum stress diets.
Right.
And I feed privately owned animals other diets. Because the reason why I have to feed that military dog a maximum stress diet is because the work I'm expecting him to do.
Right. Exactly.
And see, and if you feed that diet to a person that ain't moving, one thing about that diet, water will shoot out your behind.
Good Lord.
Because it's made to break down fast and to be very usable because you going to be working hard. And you going to need that. So it needs to be able to be broke down fast and absorbed faster. So what'll happen is if you don't, even those animals, it runs straight through them.
Yep. That's true.
And if you sitting still, you may not need that's why you get fat, because you don't need all that you eat.
Yeah.
Right. So so the same thing went way back during slavery time. The people who were sitting around and the people who was going out in the field, they had to eat different and the food had to affect them different. So when you look at somebody who says, all right, this is what gets me sometimes. And if you don't eat pork, you don't eat pork. That's your thing. They say a pig or a chicken can eat anything. But so would a crab from in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? I eat crab, but I don't eat or shrimp. And that's the cleaners of the ocean. You get what I'm saying? A crab, if you throw a body, every time they pull a body out of the ocean, it got a crab on it. If the crab is in the area.
Yeah.
Every time.
So they take it, they're getting rid of it like that pig do. Let me go to Cassandra. Let me go and let me before I do that, Leonard, read this here. This is our public citizen.
Look at the ex-athletes that get fat. That was me. I kept eating like I was still competing. I had to change my ways.
I met a lot of Marines like that.
Leonard, you want to comment on that?
He's exactly right. Like I said, he's an athlete. He knows. Those guys, like my brother-in-law, soon-to-be brother-in-law, he lifts weights. So there's a certain amount of calories that he has to eat in order to do all the bodybuilding and things that he likes to do. He's eating for that purpose. So he has went and found out that prescription and how much to eat for that purpose. Just like my man said that posted, he kept eating like he was working out every day.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. Charles probably knows what the average calories you should have. You shouldn't really go over what, 1,500 to 2,000 a day, maybe somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think. Some of us eating 6,000 calories.
That's an athlete. An athlete eats that much.
Ain't doing nothing but just sitting around watching TV. You gonna get fat. I don't care.
Exactly. Exactly. Let me go to Toya. Toya's back with us on the phone line. Toya, do we sometimes and somebody said about it earlier about the watermelon rind and the orange peels and stuff like that, the banana peel, are we throwing away sometimes the best part of the fruit that's more healthy for us, and eating what we're eating is good, but what about the part we throw away?
Yeah. No, so everything God made was good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we got to think about this. Some of the components of what they're making comes from what? Plants.
Mm-hmm.
The medicines that they make, those derivatives come from plants.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these plastics and foods that they're turning into snacks and things like that, those derivatives still come from plants. However, when they're mixed with certain things, that's what makes it poison. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to go to the foundation, and everything that grows and pops up from this earth is God. Humans ain't making nothing just pop up. Ping! That ain't what we doing. So they're getting things from somewhere to make these things detrimental. And it's just like someone said earlier. You're absolutely right. An overabundance of anything can be detrimental depending on the genetic makeup of your body. No human can tell you the exact genetic makeup of your body. These are hypotheses that we come up with over time, over the people that we've seen. But our bodies are so complex, you just never know sometimes until we can actually break down your specific makeup of that body. So yes, when we throw away these rinds and things of this nature, or even ingest, even eat certain things and mix them up, not only are they, healthy, but they can be detrimental as well. They can turn into gases over time if left under dirt, for goodness sake. You understand what I'm saying? They can be added to soil and help things grow. So we have to look at things from a foundational aspect, just like with water. You don't want to drink water when you need water to live.
Yes.
If we go without water on this world, what's going to happen? So this is the same thing for what we eat. Not that we have to eat rinds and things of that nature, but we really have to pay attention to what they call it in school is called something else, like the food cycle. You know what I'm saying? How like the rabbits eat this and something eat the rabbits and so forth and so on. Like that those cycles and stuff we have to pay attention to. And they are real. Even if you forget what's specific, you got to understand the concept and foundation. Yes, the seeds. A young lady, we're at work now, right, Miss Tway? I said, listen, I think I look pretty good for 44 because when I was younger, my father really taught me. I was like 6 doing shadow boxing. So he was in my head, listen, take care of yourself. You want to look good? You don't want to be no shriveled up old lady, man. So come on, you need to be active. And that's been my thing my whole life. So when they told you what you want to be when you grow up in school, fine. So I pushed away from the table. And I learned about these things. But no, it's real. There's great, wondrous things we can do with the stuff that we throw away, the rinds that are amazing for our skin and our bodies and our faces. We can use as scrubs and shields for our hair. Absolutely. And we need to get educated on it.
Exactly. Cassandra?
I'm guilty of everything that everybody has said, so I have nothing to say.
Public Citizen had posted about like Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, and his regimen, 8 to 10,000 calories a day. But look at how often look what this man is getting ready to do. How many laps is he gonna swim a day? So that was the big thing is, if you have an issue, most likely it's gonna take a minute. It don't happen overnight. I don't eat pork, I don't eat beef, and I don't eat chicken. And so it's gotten harder for me. My friends laugh. Is how you not eat this, but you still stay fat? It is because of the sugar. A lot of the sugar. Nowadays I cook the majority of everything I eat. I don't eat out of many packages at all, but little snacks do you in. Until my thing was I had inflammation and all that, and it was caused by chicken and stuff. And this, I would love to eat chicken, but I got tired of the feeling after eating the chicken. If you feel bad after you eat, you wrong. Plain and simple. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And I remember we used to practice who could eat the most. Boy, man. Jokers sitting with plates just, y'all, come on, y'all black. Y'all know Thanksgiving. Y'all know Christmas.
Man, you ain't gotta be that. You go to that buffet. It's a competition, brother.
Just everything piled on top of a plate.
Yes, sir.
And you wind up barely moving, gotta unbuckle your clothes. Some people sweating at the table. You name it. And I thought about that.
Boy,
as I got older. And I was
I
like,
ate them out of business today. I ate them out of business today. No, you didn't.
Man, like if we don't go out to eat as much at all anymore. But when me and my wife did go out to eat, if we went to eat, we would go and walk after eating. And so if you go eat out and things like that, stay out there and walk a little bit. Because you know, restaurants start getting full after around when the malls start to close.
Yeah.
And things like that. So we have behavioral patterns. And another thing is, don't let yourself go too long without eating, because that's going to make you overeat. So I'm doing a lot of supplements and things like that. But we all have, you know, because we love what tastes good. You know, Raheem, I love to cook. So,
yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I might as well do it for my benefit.
Well, it makes sense. Absolutely. Absolutely. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm sitting here thinking the fact I used to eat fried chicken and all that kind of stuff when I used to work all the time. But now that, you know, I'm not near as active, you know, I've changed a lot of my diet to fit. You know, I can't get out there and run like I used to and all that kind of stuff. So I have to change my diet based on what I'm capable of doing nowadays. And that's something I think a lot of people, you know, don't think about. You know, Leonard's touching a lot of it. Everyone's touching on it. You know, you have to think about your current state, and you can't keep eating those fried chicken legs or the what?
The fried chicken legs.
Man, I missed the fried chicken so much.
Them wings.
But I know I'm going to get fatter if I eat them because I'm not that active, so I can't burn those calories like I used to. So, like, when you're thinking about what you're eating, eating fast food, I agree with Leonard. You need to get out there and walk some and things like that because a lot of that stuff ain't healthy.
Yeah.
So, and remember, people don't sell food for your benefit. They just don't. They're doing it for their benefit.
Yeah, exactly.
And they hope that you like it for some reason.
Right.
You keep them spending money.
So,
not because they want to see you healthier.
Exactly.
So, like, go ahead.
Go ahead, Badger.
So, like, in a nutshell, you know, like we touched on some things yesterday, like doing gardening and things like that. You know, figure out a way to exercise every day. If it's gardening, just throwing a ball back and forth with your kids or grandkids or, you know, things like that. Be somewhat active. Like, you know, I can't walk a lot. However, you know, a lot of times my camera's not on because I get up constantly all throughout the talk show and I'm out, you know, I go outside and I stretch while I'm listening to people respond and things like that. So I do my best to stay active all throughout the day and not just sit in a chair all day. You know, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
And if you're buying them expensive Apple Watches, you know that Apple Watch will tell you when it's time to stand up. It'll tell you when it's time you would take a break and breathe.
You can set up if you're stressed out.
You can set up that watch to remind you to do little stuff like that. I had a neighbor. If she was watching TV, she gonna exercise during the commercials too. If she got to go to the bathroom, she would run to the bathroom.
Hey, Leonard, does yours tell you about stress levels? There's sometimes like there in the show that watch it light up.
Hold on, y'all got your own little conversation going on about a watch. Now, hold on, let's keep this thing going. Y'all got your own thing going on over there. Let me go. Toya with a T, you still with us? Toy, you want to tell you there? Okay, let's go to Curtis. Curtis, are you there?
Hold on. Yeah.
What's on your heart, brother?
Right.
I had to mute you, man, because you had a little conversation going on in the background. I had to mute you. But what?
Yeah. You know how I have, my resource providers. They, calls start coming at 8:30. A lot of times I ignore a lot of calls until I actually get to the office. But certain resource providers, I have to answer the call, and this one of those I had to answer the call.
Got you. What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Listen, I hate to give this senseless plug, but for y'all folks that's down there in Georgia, there's a company down there. I'm just going to tell y'all from experience. What I have experienced is, because I do like meat, I have to adjust. And what I'm going through right now is, since my baby stopped working for this company and she got a promotion at another company, we haven't been getting their meat. What I have learned, via my own experiments and paying attention to my own body, is it is best, if you're going to be a meat eater, to eat organically farmed meat. Because a lot of the things that is bad for the body is the result of all of the products that they're putting in the meat, the steroids, the like Toya said, the glue, all those things are actually really bad for the body. What I experienced was, with the name of the company is Heartland Foods. They just bought a cold food company in Charleston. Right? But all they sell is organic meats and vegetables. That's it. They stand on that, believe in that. The owner is like a 4-time weightlifting bodybuilding champ. His wife is like a 5-time bodybuilding champ. So they really into health and taking care of your body. But I'm telling y'all, me and my people, we are deciding to now become customers. We're going back to that, because once she left and I started eating, regular grocery food stuff, I'm finding I'm having a whole lot of issues. I didn't have them when I was eating Heartland Foods. So if you get the chance, look them up. Heartland Foods. They're based out of Baltimore, but they actually just bought a hub in Charleston about a year ago, and they will deliver as far down as northern Florida.
Now, Curtis, let me ask you a question. Who gonna pay for that commercial you just put? Who gonna pay for that commercial now? Now, who I need
about health?
Who I need to send this bill to, man? I need to send this bill to somebody, man. Who I'm gonna send this commercial bill? Who I'm gonna send it to, man? Am I gonna send it to you?
Raheem said MOE, money over E.
Check them out.
Look here. I'm just trying to figure out who am I going to send this bill to. Public citizen, good morning. How you doing? But seriously, appreciate that, Curtis. Appreciate the information, brother. Public citizen, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing all right. I agree with Kurt. Organic meat and like free-range chicken and grass-fed beef and all that stuff. It really is. Well, it's, like you said, who's paying for the commercial? This stuff is expensive. It costs more money to produce, but it is a lot healthier, and it's cool. We have a factory farming system in this country where we treat animals like machinery. We just totally disrespect them and brutalize them. So I eat meat, but I think I try to eat the stuff where they treat the animals a little better, and the meat tastes better. I mean, that's obvious, right? If you're treating an animal, you're torturing an animal, it releases these stress hormones and stuff. And we're eating those stress hormones. It's not good for us. Yeah. So our ancestors didn't eat like that. Our ancestors ate more plants, more fruit and all that stuff. What else? We got to move our bodies more. Like I said, I used to be an athlete. I used to do like competitive martial arts, and then I had injuries, and then I gained a lot of weight. So I'm losing it. I'm challenging all the men on this show to the push-up challenge. I'm doing 300 to 500 per day push-ups. So
now I thought you were about to say per week, man. Hold on now. I thought you were about to say per week. You said per day. God almighty. We're gonna let Leonard take you up on that one. We nominate Leonard as the one that's gonna do the 300 push-ups a day. We nominate Leonard.
Not even close.
He can do my 300 too.
Right.
Exactly. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Rico coming to you next, brother. Cassandra.
Yeah, I'm here. I have 5 on the 300 push-ups. So I got 5 on it. So I will do my 5, and then everybody else, y'all can spread it out to the rest of the team. You know, everybody else gets good. But
you
but
see
I
how
do
Raheem
have
do that, Cassandra?
Leonard, I'm gonna throw in my 5.
You see how Raheem do that?
That's it. I'm good. I can't talk because this is the worst subject for me because I know that I need to change a lot of my eating habits and stuff. So for me, I just need to be quiet and listen, learn something.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Rico.
Yeah, Raheem trying to be funny, Cassandra. He heard you when you said that a second ago. He gonna come right back to you after 2 people. I'm gonna pick with Cassandra. She already said she the worst one. She gonna have the shortest comment. I'm like, look at Raheem being messy again, man. He said wild winds, and he gonna go to the one that got the least to say.
Good
man.
deal.
Look, first off, let me say, man, thank you to Public Citizen, because one day when I was out there walking, he said to make sure I get some push-ups in. Mm-hmm. And man, it didn't strike a nerve with me, but it woke me up because at one point in time I was doing this Ironman challenge. And I would do 5 exercises and then give myself a 2-minute break and then do them 5 exercises back to back again. And I got to a point where I was doing 400 push-ups and 400 sit-ups a day, along with the miles. And then something happened to me health-wise. I never did figure out what it was, but it was painful, man. I mean, when I tell you it knocked me down, it knocked me down. I mean, you know, I couldn't get my adrenaline up anymore for any reason. Anything I got excited for, it would really affect my body. So I stopped doing the push-ups and then I started back walking. But when he said that day, I said, you know what, man? It's been a couple of years since I stopped doing that Ironman. Let me see if I could do these push-ups. I just said, now I was doing the Ironman and I got up to 400 a day.
Wow.
He said that day, and I got out there in that sun, and I got to 7 and started struggling. I said, oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm in bad shape, man. I'm struggling on these 7 push-ups. When I got to 10, I was like, woo.
You said 70. Man, then you said when you got to 70?
7.
I know.
7. So, man, I was like, woo. I'm like, man, what's going on? So I knew then, I'm like, man, that's crazy because I was knocking these things out like it wasn't nothing. And now I'm struggling again. I had got back lazy. So it didn't take maybe 2 days. And I was back to doing 25 at a burst. So now I'm gonna join them on that challenge again because I'm back up to 200 already. You know, and I could probably do more than that because once again, it's do it when you got the opportunity to do it and it doesn't hurt anything. And I saw when I was in New York the first time, man, I saw this bar on in Queens of by the hotel I was in. Every day when he got off work, man, he locked that door, man, and then he just dropped down and boom, like he knocked down about 50 back to back. This was in 2006, and I was like, man. He just said that, you know what, man, every time I got the opportunity to do this, and if I'm just standing around looking, waiting on a bus or waiting on something, I'm going to stop and do some push-ups while I'm waiting. And I thought about Herschel Walker. So, you know, that Ironman challenge and doing that now, every time I walk out my door, I do 25. Every time I walk in, I stop and do 25.
Wow, that's good.
I try to remember to do that. So, I mean, because it's sometimes killing 2 birds with 1 stone, but really and truly, if you think about it, 25 push-ups, it don't take long to do it.
No.
So you got 24 hours in the day. You can't take 50 seconds to do 25 push-ups. So I think about what we make important, what we put first, you know, that walking and metabolism, how important the metabolism is.
When I first moved to Florida, I had to take drug tests for these jobs. And it took me 5 months to get marijuana out my system. I said, what's going on? I ain't been smoking no more. She said it's hanging around in your fat cells. Your metabolism has slowed down. You got to get back active. The sex you having ain't enough. You got to do the things you did when you was a little boy. Your jobs that you're working ain't enough. We'll go to these jobs and do repetitive stuff and say, oh, yeah, I'm getting my exercise doing that. I'm in and out. Oh, man, that ain't exercise. That's just repetitive motion for that industrial job that you got. But we have to burn that fat. I put it to this way. Make yourself sweat at least once a day.
There you go. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. He said 300 push-ups a day, right?
He said 300 to 500.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start at 350. I'm gonna start at 350 a day. I'm gonna start at 3. I'm gonna take it a little higher than what he said, and I'm gonna go 350, 350 starting today. I'm not starting tomorrow. I'm gonna do 350. Look at Charles. Charles, yeah, I see you.
Keyword. You said the keyword starting today.
I'm gonna start
when
today.
When a person makes that up in their mind, you know what? Starting today, I'm fixing to walk to that stop sign and back. You know what? That wasn't that bad. I'm gonna do it again. Boom. And before you know, mind tricked yourself in the doing, motivating yourself to do something positive just because it's something positive.
Yep. I'm gonna do 300 starting today. I'm gonna do 350. Charles, what's on your heart, brother? Cut it out, man. I see you. Cut it out.
What?
Push-ups.
You'll eat 350 push-up ice creams.
Congratulations, you completed level tasks to collect benefits. Okay,
man, I ain't real push-ups or
yes, sir.
What are you talking about? Online push-ups.
No, I'm gonna do the real push-ups, military style. 350 military style. Yes, sir. Down, up, down, up. Now I'm not. Now, hold on. Let me explain this to you. Now I say throughout the day, I'm gonna do 50, 50, 50, 50. But when I'm finished at the end of the day, it's gonna equal 350.
I want to see you do that 50 right off the top.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Me and just me and my son-in-law, man. When he used to stay with us for a while when he moved here from North Carolina. When they moved back from military to North Carolina, we used to be in the house playing cornhole, and every time and one of the things about it, whoever lose had to do 50 push-ups. It was just he and I, our wives didn't do it, but whoever lost did 50 points. A couple of times I lost and I had to drop down and do about 50, man. So I could do 50. I know I could do 50 easy.
How long ago was that?
About a year ago.
Oh yeah, you good then. You good.
Yeah.
Hey, check it out. I was just thinking about something. And then I went back what Leonard was saying about the dogs. Sometimes people will feed their dogs better than they would feed their children. They'll give them raw diets and stuff like that. And I went during the pandemic, everybody, we went to the grocery store and you see what people mask on and stuff like that. But everything in their cart was processed. Sodas, boxes, anything boxed is a processed food. So you standing 6 feet away from everybody with a mask on, and everything you eating is processed. So going to your main question of eating yourself to death, that's actually what was happening. Because you weren't getting out exercising during the pandemic. Even though I know in my neighborhood, I did see people exercising a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Walking a lot more because they were home and stuff. I did see that a lot. But the overweight people that I saw at the grocery stores with their carts and everything in their carts, because, they were giving even more money to, I think, for EBT and stuff also. But you wouldn't see, and I'm not picking on people because I'm not even talking about just black people. I'm talking about black, white, everybody. They had a lot of processed foods in their cart and a lot less vegetables because I walk by them nosy. I look, you got your mask on, you stand 6 feet, and you pretty much eating yourself to death like your main question was. You saw a lot of that. You didn't.
Yeah.
And they went at the organic section taking all the vegetables out. You know what I'm saying? Eating organic meats and stuff like these guys are talking about, which is better. You could tell the difference. And they weren't exercising. You can look at them and tell.
Yeah.
And when you all got to the point of talking about exercising, that is, man, look, that's a big, that'll take a lot of mess off of you and out of you. That keeps you regular. Water and exercise. They'll put you, and once you stop doing it, you feel the effect, and that's when you put that weight on faster because you're thinking about you know, when you was working out, you can eat that honey bun and it didn't affect you. You start working out, you eat that honey bun, you start looking like the honey bun. You know what I'm saying?
He start looking like the honey bun. Lord Jesus.
You know what
Lord.
I'm saying? Because you can't
Leonard,
get
what's
out
on
of
your heart,
it.
brother? Look, I ain't fooling with Charles, man. Charles making me talk. They don't want to look like the
Hey,
honey
it's
bun.
the truth. It's the
Mhm.
it is absolutely the truth. And also, let's speak to this issue where now it's being promoted that it's okay to be obese.
Mm.
Be careful.
Mm.
That's a
Yeah.
whole
It's not
nother
o-
subject.
it's not okay to be
Mhm.
obese. If you like, if you're happy or whatever. But I think that now we're moving into some very exploitive things
Yes.
when it
Yes.
comes to weight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you is. Your body ain't meant
Mm-hmm.
to carry no 600 pounds around.
No, not at all.
Them knees not gonna last.
Mm-mm.
That you're gonna give out.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna expire a lot sooner. I was very small the majority of my life, and then I gained because I ate with my wife while she was pregnant, and I
Mm-hmm.
gained like 75 pounds,
Wow.
and I got very sick
Mm-hmm.
because I was so small that the fat had no place to go except for my liver.
Mm.
So this is a big issue. Fatty liver is a big deal. And that's what happens when all of a sudden you get into that habit of eating that way and gaining that weight.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it happened to me. That's how it happened to a lot of people and a lot of men.
Wow.
And I never weighed, even in the military, I think I only ever got up to like 150 pounds. But
Mm-hmm.
when I got older, my wife got pregnant, I gained 75 pounds. That's a
Mm-hmm.
big deal. And it has been a problem ever since, still trying to lose it.
Yeah.
So don't be tricked, women. Women,
Mm-hmm.
don't be tricked. Them fibroids and all these other things. And we know women go through different things than men do.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been with one long enough, you would know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't good. And I see them telling women it's okay and things like that. Here you is, 400 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
thinking that's okay. That's not.
No.
It's just not. You can be big and
Mm-hmm.
sexy all you want. If you
Mm-hmm.
healthy, fine. If you checking out, fine. But a lot of people not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel great, and you dead tomorrow.
Mm.
And then
Public
every time
citizen.
a disease comes around, you notice what they start saying, why they attribute this to African Americans to having harder times. It's because of diet
The
and
diet.
current
Exactly.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
And dealing with diabetes, for instance. That's
Mm-hmm.
a big deal, man.
Public citizen says thick and obese are very different.
Yes, very different.
Mm-hmm.
Very different.
Absolutely. Toy, with a T. Toy, you there?
Yeah, I
Let's
am here.
let's talk about the watch this, the benefit or the lack of benefit with drinking soda, or some parts
Oh,
of the world they say pop.
oh, oh, oh. Some parts of the state, but of these states rather. But no, soda's terrible for you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think about when our parents used to say, "Don't get that baby no sugar,"
Yeah.
because that addictiveness in sugar. Of course, that's why we don't want no water.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why. Because the addictiveness to sugar is like that off the chain.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about animal training, and that's why you don't give a dog table food. They can't process like what we do. I mean, they can eat it, but
Mm-hmm.
it might not be to their benefit. And it's the same way, with soda. You know, my thing is, if you can't give it to your animal, if you can't use it on your vehicle, then you don't need to use it for you. Like, I have common sense with certain things, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
if it's bad for that, it's gonna be bad for me if I
Yeah.
ingest it.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So for me, at a really young age, soda would make my face break out. And I said, hell, I'm already funny looking. I don't need no extras. You understand me?
This girl
I don't
right
need
here.
no extras around here.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned again at an early age certain things I couldn't do. Got to keep my, things up. And what does what? And for me, if I drink that stuff and them bumps start coming on my face, I already knew that was the issue. It's doing something inside of my body that it doesn't agree with. And I'm not going to control and train my body to accept abuse. Because stuff popping up that ain't normal. You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to train my body to be able to take the type of abuse over a long, extensive time because that's not what I want for myself. You know what I mean? So I backed off of sodas at a very young age. But that is very detrimental, for your body. Pour it on a plant every day instead of water and see what happens.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Some of these things are things that we really just need to look at from a different perspective. And it's like, okay, well, you know what? I never thought about it like that. I might not want to do that next thing. But no, soda is a very, it has a lot of high fructose corn syrup. That's one thing that we need to look out for. And a lot of monosodium glutamate products, right? Those are things that when you ingest those things, it can cause those arteries to clog and the color of those dyes to affect things like, the liver, the kidney. I mean, it's just, a host of things that can go on. And from the ingredients, things like aspartame that affect the brain. You know what I mean? So when we really do, again, this is the education and the research on some of the things that we're putting into our bodies. It will then explain maybe why some of us have some of the behaviors and behavior challenges that we experience. Just like with young kids and exposing them to certain sugars. It's like, oh, that's, ADHD. No, that's sugar.
Yeah.
Because, they don't know how to sit still now and they wired up. And now here you want them to sit down for 8 hours, but they didn't have sugar at the top of the morning and they wired up because they're so small, so young. You understand what I'm saying?
That red
and then
40.
again, here we go down a ton of other issues because of the knowledge. So soda is very dangerous, y'all. Look on the back of it, find out what it is, and once you know what it is, get educated. So that way that will help persuade you not to indulge in those things that's not, the most beneficial to you and your body.
Exactly. Monique, what's on your heart, sis? Monique, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Only thing I have is I heard Leonard mention the fatty liver. I was actually diagnosed with fatty liver, and I decided to participate in a research. So there's no cure for fatty liver, and I decided to participate in this research where they're trying to create a drug to possibly cure fatty liver. So I went through all their little tests and everything. But in the process, I was, reading up on, more holistic ways of trying to cure it. And I found this guy where he cured his. So I started, working on his, what he was. I didn't do everything, but I kind of, modified. And probably within a, 4 or 5 months, and at the same time, I'm going through this research, and they check your liver every so often. And when the last time they checked my liver, at the same time I'm trying to eat all these things that the guy said eat, it was to the point where my liver I still have it, but I healed it to the point where I couldn't participate in the research. Because your liver has to be at a certain point in order to participate. But at the same time, I was trying to do with, what the guy was saying that he did. And when they checked it, they were literally saying that because my numbers wasn't, high, that, I couldn't participate in the research anymore.
Wow.
So that's when I realized that, food plays a big part. And when I read on what causes fatty liver, And the fact that people walk around, and not even know that they have it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on it, but I'm still, working on my eating habits too.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to put that out there. And a lot of it comes from eating processed food.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
And being overweight.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next thing I wanted to say, everybody mentioned the push-up challenge. I'll recommend a challenge, since a lot of people say they don't drink water. And we on this podcast from 2 to 3 hours. My challenge is we all drink a bottle of water while we on this podcast.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Okay. I could take that. Tiffany Real, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Raheem, I felt like you were telling lies, so that's the only reason why I called in.
Oh, you felt like that. You felt it down in the pit of your stomach.
I just felt it in my spirit. 350 push-ups, you telling lies. So I just want to get you back on track.
Okay. But now, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it now.
Now, if you do 350 in your mind, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
But I don't want you hurting nothing, breaking nothing, because we need your show.
Listen, I'm going to do 7 sets of 50.
Okay.
7 sets. I'm gonna do 50. I'm gonna do 7 sets of 50 throughout the day. I'm gonna do 50. Mark it off. Do 50 more. Mark it off. There you go, Charles. There you go, Charles. Give me 50, Charles. Give me 50. Give me 50.
Okay.
Oh, he clapping his hands and everything. He tired now. He He ain't gonna be down there long. You ain't gotta worry about that. He ain't gonna be that long.
But he's in good shape.
No.
That don't count when he's in good shape.
No.
I'm talking about you, Raheem.
No. He ain't in good shape. That joker tired as on know what. Look at him breathing hard. That joker ain't in good shape. That joker about to die. That joke about to die.
Look at one of those grays curling up. He said, "Wait a minute, now we got to do this a baby step."
Look at him now. He drinking soda. Ain't that something? Now he drinking soda. Rico, what's on your heart? Badger, coming to you next.
It sort of reminds me, as we were talking, man. I'm thinking about the people that I see that buy supersized meals and then get diet Cokes.
Tiffany Real do that.
Donald bring that up a lot of times. Man, you know what I'm saying?
That's a lie.
Go ahead. Rico.
May I say something on that, please? Can I please say something about that?
Go ahead.
I'm not a soda drinker, but I do a lot of research too, and people eat these meals and then they drink these fatty meals, and then they drink something cold like soda and stuff like that, and it's like you're freezing the stuff in your arteries and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. When I was pregnant with my first child, I watched this medical show, and they said that you should drink warm water. And for 30 years, I've been drinking warm water because it's like it flushes everything through. But as far as like the fatty organs and stuff like that, when I got into radio a few months ago, I was like, I can't be taking pictures because it puts like 50 pounds on you in the pictures. Mm-hmm. So I was doing everything to try to lose weight and nothing was working. So I decided to do intermittent fasting. So when I was watching some videos, I was like, dang, I'm not even losing any weight, because when you lose weight, it goes from the inside out. And if you watch shows like 600-Pound Life and all that other stuff, and they chop you open, you can see all that fat. And all that fat is surrounding your organs. So you got to get rid of that stuff first before you start seeing stuff from on the outside. So once I started doing the intermittent fasting, and I got used to not eating all the time, I started dropping the weight. The only problem was 4 months later, it was hard for me to get to a place where I could eat during the day because I was so used to it, but I kept losing weight and I couldn't stop because my body was used to it. So I had to force myself to eat several times a day so I can get to a nice looking space.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. Now, are you there now?
Ooh.
Tiffany, are you where you want to be now?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you where you want to be?
No, I'm not. But women are never satisfied. So.
There you go.
But I'm at a healthier space. I was almost 200 pounds. I had never been almost 200 nothing. So when I saw that 196, I got scared because if I got to 200, that wasn't gonna be cute. I'm only 5'1".
Mm-hmm.
So I lost the weight and I'm down like 25, 30 pounds, which is good. But one thing I wanted to say too about, we have to stop we have to stop allowing people, especially our elders, to stop telling people we have big bones and all this other stuff, because if you cut all the skin off, the bone's gonna be the same size. There's no such thing as big bones and all that other stuff, all these excuses that we make for being obese.
Mm-hmm. You big boned it. You big boned it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rico.
Big boned it.
Exactly.
She said she 5'1". She a little bitty something.
Mm-hmm.
5'1". Man, yeah, man. I was thinking, man. I remember when I was young, how particular I was about food. I'm still particular when it comes to taste buds. I mean, it really goes to show you how powerful taste buds are. Taste buds, man, they can hit you with that sugar and have you acting like a crackhead, and you won't even realize you out here addicted to sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be honest with you. I almost sort of remember the first time I had sugar. That's all I wanted after that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I ate, I put it in my mouth. It needed to be sweet, and if it had a color to it, I felt like that color has a sweetness to it because I was used to candy and popsicles.
Mm-hmm.
And so, now we are living out of order. We buy these sodas, and we prefer the sodas over the warm water. Like I said, we prefer cold water over warm water.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a situation where we have been conditioned to like things that make us feel good and value those things more than we value longevity in life.
Mm-hmm.
So, it gets to a point where you ask yourself, well, you know what, man, do you want to have the final things in life? Do you want to enjoy every day doing what you want to do? Or do you want to make some sacrifices and live as long as you can? Because I see people make it to 100 and they celebrate it. And I mean, life, this is a precious thing.
Yes,
I
it
tell
is.
you what, ain't nothing more important than the experience of life.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more precious. And
Mm-hmm.
we only get one time at this, as far as I know. So my value or my goal is to try to make sure I experience this thing called life as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And most of those people that I see that make it to 112, they don't have huge midsections.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at them, Chinese, black, white, you name it, all of them, they slim. Even the ones that say they drank every day.
Mm-hmm.
They were slim. So, I got to a point where I just started using common sense, and that's where I think this thing called awakening comes in there. It got to a point where I stopped indulging getting this. Let's see who could eat the most. Let's go to the buffet and get your money's worth. And it got to a point where I started saying, well, you know what? I'm just going to eat till I'm not hungry anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was times that I thought I was hungry. I was hungry. And then after I couldn't get to no food right then, once I got involved in doing what I was doing, I would forget. And then it would be another 8 hours before I ate. And I'm like, well, man, I was hungry as heck at 10 o'clock. Now here it is 5 o'clock. I still ain't ate nothing. I forgot all about it. Maybe because I drank a little water.
Yeah.
That water took it did it. So it's a mind thing. So in this awakening, I found out that I would just eat until I wasn't hungry anymore.
Exactly.
That stopped that uncomfortable feeling of overeating. And then at the same time, I figured with that Monique was on there just saying a second ago about the fat building up on your body on the inside. Something has to melt that away.
Yep.
Something has to melt that away. So logically, I started thinking about sweat and metabolism and the sweat and the toxins that come out of your pores and stuff and all of that, how it contributes. And at the same time, when I was deciding to sweat, I was locking up. My kidneys wasn't acting right because I was sweating out sodas, Sprite, Coke. So now I was wondering, okay, why am I locking up, man? Why is it that when I sweat, I'm not sweating anymore? I just got salt. I was sweating so much it wasn't nothing but salt on my face. I could wipe my face and you could see enough salt to put in a salt shaker.
Good Lord.
Like, man, why is it I wasn't hydrated? So in the process of me still sweating and doing what I was supposed to do, I was drinking beers and Sprites all day, every day. When I get off work, drinking beer, liquor. When I get to work, drinking Sprites and drinks out the soda machine. Very little water. Piss is dark, super yellow. and I'm sweating. Oh man, I'm gonna be in good shape, man. My metabolism gonna pick up. Then I'm about to pass out. You're about to die. They had to rush me to the hospital.
Wow.
Because I was dehydrated. So you have to hydrate yourself, man. That water, these natural things right here in our place that we discard and we take for granted, like watermelon rind and orange hulls and warm water. We take that for granted and we ain't gonna drink it unless we go buy water. Look at they got us so conditioned and out of order now that we go buy water.
Wow. Let me go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, the things people are saying, hit on point. It's just wild when you like step back and look at everything that's going on in our communities, our diets, and things like that. Because there's a lot of once again misdirections and illusions. A lot of people think that some of the food we're eating is perfectly safe, and it really ain't.
No.
So it's. I mean, this is a conversation that happens all over the place, and a lot of times you just got to sit there and just let people be people, because some people ain't going to listen; they're going to follow the main media. So I hope the people that are listening, take our our opinions, our experiences, things we've noticed, things we've researched, the science behind a lot of it. All of us have worked all kinds of jobs. We have personal experiences. We've dealt with health issues, all kinds of things like that. So it's not us spewing nonsense. I mean, it's one of those things, are you going to listen to your elders, the people that have gone through it, that have experienced it, or are you going to continue to do the same old things, and then when you get our age, you're going to turn around and go, oh, they were telling the truth?
Exactly.
What kind of person are you going to be in life?
That's good. That's good. Bishop, good morning. How you doing this morning? Bishop, you there?
I'm blessed, man. Had to take you off mute, brother. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Sounded energized this morning. Hold on. I got something. Man. Leonard, hold on, Leonard.
That's the good Bishop.
Okay, there you go. Bishop, we asking a question, man, and good to have you here this morning, brother. You sounded energetic this morning, like you got a little energy in you. But are we eating ourselves to death, Bishop? Are we some of the stuff that we're eating, man? Are we actually killing ourselves? People that have never smoked, drank anything, coming up with cancer and all kind of other ailments. Are we eating ourselves to death?
Well, I would say yes. We are not really taking care of our body. So much fast foods, man. No one really cooks anymore. And if they do, they don't cook really nutrients or wholesome things. They go buy you those stuff-off pizzas or those chicken nuggets and just throw them in the oven for convenience. And so the health is completely diminishes because we don't really take care of the body, the temple that God created for us to inhabit. So I would agree. Now, I'm not going to go as far as say that the fast food causes cancer. No, I'm not. I wouldn't do that, and I hope nobody else would. But I do know that if we don't properly maintain our physical body, then other things can creep in: diabetes, high blood pressure, and something gonna come whether you eat right or don't eat right. That's genetic. But at the most, those who do their best and do their due diligence to take care of the body, I praise them. I make it a habit of getting up every morning to work out. Because after dealing with COVID, I'm like, man, but I was working out before that time, but I'm like, man, this ain't no joke. So, yeah, I would agree. I would agree with anyone and everyone that has stated the lack of nutrients in our body in order for us to sustain ourselves is completely diminished because of our lack or to be lazy when it comes down to cooking. And yes, I feel great, and I took the COVID exams last night. My doctor, which I have one of the best doctors in the world, and it came up negative. So I'm clear of COVID. Thank God.
There you go. Praise God.
So, Yeah, to God be the glory, brother.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And somebody asked me, they say I'm slipping, man. I needed to say I need to play your instrument.
To usher in the good bishop.
Exactly. Exactly. There you go.
I am the virtual armor bearer
There you go. Exactly.
for the good bishop
I
Gregory.
was I was told that I dropped the ball. I should have played. I had to go over there and look over there and find it and play your intro music, brother. Had to play your intro music. Cassandra.
I think you need to give me a song, not a horn. And I think Leonard's song needs to be that one of Shaft. You're a bad mother. I'm just talking about
And look at boy.
They give you one note. Ain't that something? That one note intro.
And that be out of tune. And that would be out of tune, Rico.
Hey, Cassandra, got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
We talking about eating ourselves to death, and we're talking about some of the stuff that we eat that are not good for us. What about potted meat?
I almost turned the computer off when you said that.
Because that's something, you know.
No. I survived in college. I survived on potted meat, so I can say what I want now that I know better. But when you in school and those care packages come with them saltine crackers and them Vienna sausage and all that potted stuff, man, I ate that stuff like it was filet mignon. So I can't. I don't know. I can't. Because I ate a lot of Vienna sausage.
Also, I would like to mention it's a perfect time from working with the youth. And a young lady you all may know named Mary Pat Hector.
Mm-hmm.
She on college campus at Spelman. I believe she had a big protest because you would be surprised at the number of students who are hungry when it comes to certain things because they don't give them that meal card. They have to pay for that meal card. And that's a big deal when a kid goes to college is that meal card now. So I remember when she led this protest about making sure that people are getting enough to eat, they're eating regularly, and they're eating healthy. And on college campuses, they were really protesting the quality of the food that they were being served. So what you eat is very important. I'm going to put health and wellness right there with combating racism. You got to be healthy and well to do this. I can't run around like I noticed from being what I used to do. I can't run around no more with backpacks on my back. I can imagine if I had to run all across campus like I used to now. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you ever been to Georgia Tech, like say for instance, sometimes there's a long way before you get a ride somewhere or can catch a bus. You may get dropped off at one spot, but you have to make sure that your kids, when they're away, that they're eating properly. So definitely, I remember the care package situation. That's why it was so funny with Miss Cassandra and how we used to pack and take my brother a care package. When I tell you, them folks put ham, gallons of milk, and in the care package and had to go take it because students may be going to school with full rides, but they still got to eat. Exactly. That's why they starving when they come home. Because they not eating properly. And want to eat up everything. Mary, good morning, Mary. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Hey, doing good. We're asking the question: are we eating ourselves to death? Are we very mindful as a whole? I know how you eat, but as a whole, do we eat? Are we eating ourselves to death?
I don't eat much. I eat maybe one meal a day. I'm having my snack right now. But my meal today will probably be dinner. Yesterday was lunch.
You kind of low. You kind of low, Mary. Your volume is kind of low.
I said I don't eat a lot. I eat one meal a day, and then I'll snack, and I'll drink like a smoothie or I'll have some tea or something like that throughout the day. But I really don't eat that much, so I don't eat myself to death. But America is one of the most I think we're the most obese country, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
We have the biggest portion, and even still, we're not satisfied. So, I guess statistically, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Wow. That's good. Tiffany, what's on your heart? Charles, coming to you next. Coming to you next, Charles. Tiffany, you there? Tiffany Real.
Can you give me a chance to unmute the phone?
Nope.
I'm here.
Nope. You got to be like quick draw. Got to be quick draw around here. Bang, bang. What's on your
So
heart?
because you're doing a 350 in your head, you a bully now? Don't do that.
What's on your heart?
You know, the eating once a day and doing the smoothie thing, I think that is a great thing, especially if you're eating healthy. And eating healthy is fun. You know, when we were little kids, my grandmother, she had a garden in her backyard, and she always cooked breakfast, lunch, dinner. She made snacks at home. She made cookies. She did everything at home. And you don't realize how bad you feel until you start feeling good. Like, you know, every so often I'll stop eating meat for like 4 months or something like that, and you start feeling good. And then as soon as you go back to it, you be like, dang, I feel bad. You don't realize you feel bad until you start feeling good. We used to eat well balanced meals. You know, well, I know I did. We had to have a vegetable, we had to starch or whatever, whatever. But these people try to program you into thinking that certain vegetables and stuff aren't good for you. If it comes from the earth, it's good. You know what I'm saying? They push everything on you. And have you ever gone to the grocery store and looked and seen soy is in everything? Even in candy bars and all types of stuff. If you go and you pick up 10 items, packaged items, most of them, if not all, will have soy in them. And that soy bothers me. And it affects you, you know, it affects you physically. And it can, too much soy can cause issues, you know, and these kids, you know, boys got breasts and girls got mustaches and all kinds of stuff like that. We really, with anything, even the conversation we had yesterday, I personally feel like we just need to go back to the basics.
Yeah.
Just because we're evolving, some things you just need to keep simple. It's easier to love thy neighbor as yourself when you're doing it simply. But when you're trying to live like the Joneses and everything, and you trying to strive for all this greatness that you can't take to the grave, that's where we do ourselves a disservice. If you're fighting to get the bag and stuff like that, you're not worrying about the person next to you that doesn't have anything to eat. If anything, you're talking about them like a dog. But if we go back to the basics and we eat healthy, like I said yesterday, you and your neighbor can come together, get some seeds together. You grow this, I grow that, and we get healthy together. But we don't want to do that. And we're walking around talking about everything in the name of Jesus, but let's talk about the gluttony and how we walking around. We're not doing our God a good service by walking around like Oompa Loompas. We got to get it together, mind, body, and soul.
Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa. Walk around like Oompa Loompa. Charles, what's on your heart, brother?
Did she say Oompa Loompas?
She said Oompa Loompa. She said Oompa Loompa. And she said it and just flowing off the tongue like Oompa Loompa. Go ahead, bro.
Check it out, man. Two things, man. One thing is that when you all was talking about the inside and the out, working from the inside outside of the fat inside your body. When I was in the military, I was lab tech, so we had to do the autopsies also. So a person that came in like, you know, that was in shape, something happened to them, and you do an autopsy on them, you see no fat on the heart, no fat on their lungs, no fat on their kidneys. But we would get people come in also because, you know, you had the retired guys, and their bellies would be big and round, and it'd be like real tight. Pop them open, you know, do your cut on them, and you're talking about layers of fat, like, you know, like this on their heart, layers of fat on their kidneys, and you can see layers of fat on their liver. I mean, you can see that, and this looks like big yellow globs, and you're like, people walking around with this stuff inside them, and no wonder they feel bad. And a lot of things, man. Also, and I learned from my mom. My mom is like 76 now, and she eats everything. But it's all, and everybody I talk to that's like centurion, like over 100, and you're right, Rico. They all are slim people, slim, no stomachs. They say variety is it. It's always about variety.
Mm-hmm.
You can eat the cake, but don't eat the whole cake. You can eat some chicken, but don't eat the whole chicken. Don't eat the whole. You know how they say the rooter to the tutor. Don't eat the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I've never met, and even the people who drink every day. I met some 80-year-old, 90-year-old, 100-year-old people who drink a shot of whiskey every day. It's all about
Mm-hmm.
variety. My mom and her sister, her sister was a vegetarian. All my well, up until I was 20 something when she passed away of a heart attack. So from me,
Mm.
from 1 year old up to 23, she was a vegetarian. This was back in the 70s and 80s. She passed away of a heart attack as a vegetarian, and my mom's 70 something. They got the same mom, same father. Is she humping like crazy, but she
Mm-hmm.
takes her supplements. She runs around, she do those things, and like I said, variety. Uh, and it's something. What was it? Toy who just said something about soy.
Tiffany.
Tiffany soy, and I think it was
Mm-hmm.
a part of soy and being a vegetarian that killed her.
Mm. Wow.
Because you gotta think, vegetarian. When we went over there, we ate no meats, but they
Mm-hmm.
ate those little morning things with the fake meat, and it wasn't the same as now. And they ate a lot of macaroni and fake cheese or fake eggs and stuff like that. And she died of a heart attack, bro.
Mm-hmm.
At
Wow.
work, a massive heart attack
Mm.
at work.
Mm. Wow. You never know, man. You never know. And
And
like I say,
and
you try to do the best you can, man. There's so many.
everybody,
There's so much involved in this thing, man. There's
right,
so many
right.
different levels
And
involved in this thing here, man. Yeah.
one
Go
more
ahead.
one more thing, real quick. Everybody, like I said, everybody I meet, because I travel around, and if they're 100 or they're like 99 or something like that, I either ask them or their caretaker, what does this person eat? And man, I promise you, I want to say 9 times out of 10, but it's probably 10 times out of 10 they'll say they eat what they want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
They say they eat what they want to eat, but they eat everything though. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
some of them have to be on those mushed up diets, but they eat everything they want to eat. You understand? Like one lady said she eat rum raisins every day. She was
Mm-hmm.
102 years old. You get what a rum raisin is? A raisin soaked in rum, and she eat them every day.
Wow. Wow.
She going
Wow.
out happy, but she going out happy.
Cause I'm happy. Come along if you. Public citizen, what's on your heart, brother?
Okay, I have a soy comment. So I did a little research on soy because I've heard some of the things that Tiffany was saying and Charles was talking about. So yeah, I listened to this guy who's a scientist, and he spent like 5 years doing an analysis of all these different studies, like thousands of studies on soy, and they found that overall it's beneficial. It's better if you have whole soy, like like edamame beans, like the full bean, as opposed to something that's been processed. A lot of the we're all against processed food. I mean, we're all on the same page on that. But like, if you look at like a processed food and it says on the side soy protein isolate, that's the stuff that it's not the full food, and that's the problem. So soy, I eat soy every day. I eat edamame beans, and I think it's good. Like I've heard. In the past, my dog's barking at me. I heard people say, "Oh, it's gonna, make men turn feminine or whatever." But they actually found that men, when they eat soy, it improves their prostate function and sexual health and all that sort of stuff. So, so it's I think people need to do a little more research and on that one. I 100% agree with Tiffany about intermittent fasting. It's hard though. It's really hard. You have to have a lot of self-discipline to pull that off. I tried it for a while, and it's just I like food, so to only eat once a day, that's really hard. My other comment was like I think it was your daughter said that we're the fattest country. Actually, I believe it's Mexico. So, and I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One is, the majority of Mexicans are, mixed, and they're, high percentage of Native American ancestry, right? So our ancestors ate very plain, simple foods. That's one. And I think the other reason is Mexico has a really big systemic racism issue. I've said that before on the show. There's like really like if you have lighter skin in Mexico, you get treated better. So that goes back to the whole trauma thing, and people internalize racism and all this stuff. So so I think the psychology plays a big part in racism and their overall health and all this stuff. So that's why we need to find solutions to these problems and not just do the same thing over and over.
Exactly. Cassandra, what's on your heart right now? I know you done did about 150 push-ups already, Cassandra. I know you done got them in already.
Yeah, I got my 5 in. But Bliss is he hit a very valid point. We know the trauma causes a lot of dysfunction when it comes to eating habits and stuff. You find a lot of obese women and women that are what do you call it? Bulimia, all those things, they are trauma driven. So you have people that throw up after they eat, as a thing. You have people that binge eat. Like if I get really, really stressed, I will like just keep eating stuff, even though I'm not hungry, but I will eat chips. I'll eat, and that's due to trauma. That's something that is happening within me. So a lot of women, and if you talk to people, not even just women, men too, that I've spoken to in counseling and stuff that are overweight, they say the same thing, that when they get really stressed, they will start eating. So there is something related to that.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Rico?
Also, some people get bored and eat. Go back and forth to that refrigerator, looking at that refrigerator like something changed around because they ain't got nothing else to do. I've seen it. I'm like, man, that joker went to the refrigerator again. He just left out the refrigerator 5 minutes ago. You need something else to do. Sitting up playing with your feet, playing video games all day. I done seen it, man.
He said playing with your feet.
Yeah, man, I done seen it, man. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the thing is, Tiffany said it earlier. She said it yesterday, and I'm the same way, man. We have to get back to the basics, get back to the simple things sometimes. But like what Public Citizen said, you throw in racism, and then you throw in the fact that human beings have two things. Well, they have a number of things they require, and that we can't help but to get involved in, and that's whatever we have access to and whatever is convenient to us. And so now we are moving in that direction to where we indulge in whatever we have the most access to. And if you don't have access to certain things, which race or whatever may be a reason why you don't have that access, that's one problem. But the other problem is we love doing things that are most convenient because we want to do the other things we want to do. That's why fast food restaurants are rich right now. That's why McDonald's is so huge. I don't know if people saw the documentary a long time ago called Super Size Me. It was, man, it was revealing, but at the same time, I felt sort of stupid watching it because I'm like, you know what? I already knew this. But something in my head is telling me that I like this pizza. Even though after I eat this pizza, I'm feeling bad.
Yeah.
Man, exactly. You know what? I sure hate to miss that pizza. I'm going to miss it. But I can't feel bad no more. Because now I'm seeing that this bad feeling that I'm getting is from the marinara sauce and the cheese and the pork and the sausage on it. And it's messing with my blood pressure, which I never had a problem with at first. So now I got to find a way to fix this because I know this isn't healthy.
Yeah.
So we got to find a way to start putting the health and safety first above convenience and recreation. But like I said, we so hooked on convenience and comfort and what makes us feel good. Comfort foods. We do. I mean, there's just so many different things that we are out of order in that we address and see the problems going on with society, but we continue to contribute to those things to make the problems exist. So somewhere there has to be an awakening. Somewhere we have to realize that maybe we shouldn't be depending on restaurants to feed our families every day. Maybe we should be growing some of our own food and vegetables.
Yep.
Maybe I should be baking and boiling some food sometime instead of using this grease every day. Because I'm like Badger. Man, I used to love me some fried chicken, but now it just looked good. The minute I taste it, grease, cholesterol, everything negative you could think of comes all over my mind now. And it just don't taste the same. I miss it, but it just don't do it no more.
Man, and that's one of the reasons why I love that air fry, man. That air fry is man, that's one of the best things they invented right there. That air fry, pull all that grease and that fat and everything off of it, man, and it still tastes crispy. I had a taste for some wings. I cooked some wings yesterday in that air fry. Boy, man, look at it. Crispy as I don't know what. All the fat and everything. Just, man, look at him, man. Look at him. Yeah.
It was crispy right here.
It was crispy.
Crispy. They can throw that deep fry out the back door. They're going to get rid of that deep fry.
Don't need it. That chicken was crispy. That chicken was real crispy. I'm gonna tell you, hey, Bishop.
That's the truth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I love that air fry, man. I love it. Man, that's one of the best things they came out with right there. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I was just listening, girl.
Okay, good deal. Good. Let me go. Bishop, what's on your heart, sir?
Man, I want to say this. I'm so impressed with your panel or your guests today. They're so informed, and man, I'm just sitting there listening. I just appreciate hearing what everyone has to say. You know I'm gonna start something right here because it's just in my DNA.
That's just who you are. Go ahead.
Leonard, Rico, what's your name? Tiffany? Is that her name?
Tiffany, yes.
She told you right here. Woo! Man. She told you what I'm talking about.
Bishop, you instigate. Bishop.
Exactly. Hey, Rico.
Bishop being real messy right now.
Yeah, he being messy. He being messy. Rico, go ahead.
I'm just saying. I'm my phone on mute, bro. Calm down. That's what I'm talking about. She told you. We said the same thing.
See what I'm saying?
It don't mean that when we say it, but the way she said it, go, bro. My phone on mute. Well, I bet he won't say that next time he calls him. Call me. Hold on. I'm gonna put my phone on mute. Call me right here.
Hey, man, Bishop, look here. My thing is this right here. My thing is this right here.
What?
My thing.
What?
Watch this. Mary, what's on your heart? Mary?
I'm here.
I'm
here, Sugarfoot.
Now see, you see how they treat you. See how they treat your dad, right? Everybody just on here just laughing at me. Just look at it, boy. Look here. Punch me when I'm down and kick him.
We ain't paying them this show.
There you went. And ain't nobody getting paid today. Okay. And my daughter said that. She said, "Ain't nobody getting paid today." Rico.
They need to pay us. That's just what has to happen now.
See, look,
I'm gonna sit here and take this.
We ain't gonna take this. We ain't gonna stand for this. I ain't gonna stand for this. That's why
he feel better now. You know, he see how he went to it. She called him Sugarfoot. He just said, "See how they did me." It's all right, Sugarfoot.
Yeah.
She got you, Daddy.
Yes, absolutely.
She gonna ask for something later. You know that. Right?
Yeah. I already know. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I've had a lot of enlightenment today. Thank you so much. Like I said, I will be doing my 5 push-ups to contribute to what Public Citizen said. But yeah, the information was great. It gave me a lot to think about. Toya, I know me and that water thing that I've battled with from birth. I'm 62 and just drink a glass of water a week, maybe. So I definitely, have been trying to adjust with water, and I pray that that I will not be so rigid about the water and start doing the water thing, because it's the best thing for me. Even though I've made it to 62, I can make it longer if I change my habits. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Definitely appreciate it. And
I have a question.
I have an answer.
I never got to say what was on my heart because I was defending you should do it. But my question is, because I feel like one's more important than the other. But which one is more important in y'all's opinion, everyone's opinion? Is it fasting or is it praying? In my opinion, I'd rather pray than fast, because I don't eat a lot as it is, so it really wouldn't do nothing for me fasting. I only eat one meal a day. I don't care if I had to cut it out. It wouldn't bother me at all. But praying has always been more difficult for me to actually feel a connection there. So which one is more important to everyone?
Okay, you can ask the question. You can ask the question.
But which one is more important?
You can ask a question as deep as that at 9:59. Lord, my Jesus. Lord, my
yeah, but that's a good one, because for some people, eating is not a problem for them. They can go all day without eating. It's time. I don't think about eating until late in the afternoon. So I believe prayer, for me, prayer has always been the one that we do. We need to do fasting and praying, but we need to do fasting. But prayer, definitely that continual communication with God, because while you're riding in your car, it's just talking to Him. That's basically this. It's having a conversation with Him and building your intimacy so that you become clearer on what direction and how you're being guided. So for me, that's just for me. Prayer would be the most important.
Absolutely, Bishop.
I agree with Cassandra. I agree with your daughter. She's already afflicting the body. The only thing that would be lacking is taking some oil and anoint the head. Because she fasts, or she only eats limited anyway. The most important thing is to pray. The Bible said pray without ceasing. Then it said man ought to always pray. Then the thing we see comes up by fasting and prayer. So since she already fasted, or she already diminished her eating habit, then pray. I agree with Cassandra. I agree with your daughter. I think, man, your daughter is so bright. Boy, goodness gracious. What? That must be your white child.
Leonard, boy, look at when you get a gut punch like that, how do you respond, man? Look at
You just let it go.
Exactly.
You get another before you catch another one.
That dude hit me with a gut punch, man. Yes. She get it from my wife. I'm just as dumb as a bag of rocks. What do you say?
You ain't dumb.
Look, I'm just dumb as a bag of rocks. She get it all from my wife. You get none of that from me. None of that come from me. Rico, what do you say to something like that, man? Okay, Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, man? I'm getting out of here, man.
Man, if you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it or hear it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dklmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Hey, gut puncher, can you pray us out? Gut puncher.
Yeah,
oh, he hit and run too, huh?
Yeah, exactly. He one of them kind of fellas. Exactly. Pray us out, sir.
Hey, man, it really has been a great show. I've enjoyed it, and I enjoyed my humor today, because
yes, sir.
I hadn't been like this in a couple of weeks. So,
man,
I hope I didn't offend you or anybody else with my humor.
Oh, never.
But it really has been a great show, and your panel, your host, man, have been knocking it out the park, man.
I'm just shocked.
I appreciate the knowledge and information that they share. So I want to say that.
Let me say this before. Hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this before you pray, because I'm surprised, man, because normally you ain't funny. Go ahead, brother.
He gave you want to pray on me.
You got me. You got it from your daughter, though.
Yes,
You would have thought that on your own.
Cassandra, I had to do it. I'm sorry,
I
Cassandra.
mean, it did come from the person that thinks he can sing.
All right, hey, Heavenly Father, we're coming for you this present hour. Thank you, Lord God, for all that you do and have done. Lord God, continue to bless DKM Media Group, continue to bless Raheem, continue to bless those that call in, and most all those that are listening. We hope and trust, Lord God, that the words that we speak are most definitely edifying to their understanding, Lord God, matriculating their mind to think better about themselves, about the world, and what they need to play in it. We ask, Father God, we'll continue to bless those that are on the bed of affliction, those who are troubled in mind, troubled in spirit. We ask, Father God, you to increase their faith, their knowledge, and their understanding of you, your word, your will, your way, and have the love for humanity that we're supposed to demonstrate on a continued and daily basis. Continue to bless us, Father, keep us. But most of all, Father, bless Raheem, his vision for his show, and the benefit that he can render to those who really stand in need of his knowledge, his blessings, and those who are willing to participate in these programs. In your name, Christ Jesus, we pray, amen and amen.
Amen. Amen. It's been truly matter. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And anybody have anything before we get out of here? Good deal. Good deal. I want to thank everybody for joining this morning. Then I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:04. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, right, this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please be blessed.